Talk to me.
Are we all here?
Wrong, Alex.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to go to a gun range.
Yeah, no.
Y'all could.
Oh, really?
Gun range? Where? How close?
Come visit. We just call them the streets.
That's just Tuesday in Texas.
Wow. Somebody open it up with an AR just into the sky.
I'm
Oh yeah,
dead.
that's just Ted. That's just Ted. That's what he does.
Like, I hate Mondays, but this makes it better. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Pull up.
Way
I
to go,
mean,
Ted.
hey, walking around with a 6-shooter must make Monday better. I guess that's why they do it. I guess that's why they do it.
Generally.
One can only imagine.
We've cracked the code. Rain's closing the window because they're embarrassed about us, about being seen playing D&D with us.
Absolutely.
Rain has an image to uphold. Can't be seen playing D&D.
Absolutely.
Somebody looks through and just like, is that role
I mean, I
playing?
get it.
You get it.
I mean, yeah, I'm over here with a bottle on my finger, so let's go.
Hell yeah.
The smaller one. Hello, smaller one.
Hello, big fellow mine.
All right, guys. What's up?
Big
We're all here.
fellow
Outside.
mine.
8:30.
Let's get it going.
Alrighty, so
Everybody roll a d2. Wait, hold on.
that's useless. I mean, if you want to.
No, I'm
So, last time on Ask Yourself a Friend. After doing quite a significant amount of shopping and, well, getting various equipment throughout the day.
We didn't really do any shopping.
That is true.
We just killed people in the shopping area.
Yeah, we started shopping and then it was like, oh god.
I got them new J's, but that was 2 days ago.
I was smooching and then I got, well.
Well,
Oh shit! Right.
yeah.
I left that fucking angry. I think.
So, there was a
My goodness.
interesting intersection where also after a good amount of shopping had been done, some requests, purchases, and obviously a good amount of exploring going on throughout the city and capital, Ku and Aiden had stepped aside, mostly on the request of Ku, just to kind of see if there really was a spark there. After a brief intersection of kind of like yes, no, and then a definite yes, where they had shared a nice kiss together,
It was smooching.
they were suddenly befell upon a bone devil who came out of invisibility on the rooftops and had struck them with some kind of spell. In the brief moment of transposition, you saw that the spell had gone off, but something had gone completely awry. At that point, they saw that Ku was still there, but Aiden was no longer there. Replaced by a strange blue figure who looked extremely
Bureaucrat.
extremely confused, and then also seemed to recognize Ku, strange enough, and immediately started blaming him. Various people who were disguised, bearded devils that were disguised as people, immediately descended on them on the order of the Bone Devil, trying to get rid of Ku and kill him outright, saying that he needs to be, well, destroyed and gotten rid of at the point. After the party had quickly rescued Q, but also found out exactly what this blue man was, of a Videlkin. And also going by the name of Modar, and being a prosecutor for the city of Sigil, was trying to, well, prosecute Ku, or a Ku, for one of the many reasons that he's, as far as able to understand. Went through a huge exposition, showed some of the documents that he had still on his personage as he was preparing for the prosecution day. And, well, some of those papers are no longer existent, as they had unfortunately burst into flame in Thalos' hands, just accidental spellcasting.
Crazy how that happens.
But
Oh no.
After all this had happened, seeing that Ku was horrifically injured, almost dead at that point, but also not worried about his injuries, more on the factor of being heartbroken after finally having a confession of love, but at the same time immediately losing that person, kind of seemingly perpetuating his curse of constantly losing those who are close and dear to him.
You're a monster.
So, with that, the Githyanki, the Silver Knights, have come to check out the situation, especially the alarm of the people retreating. They quickly started pouring over the city. They had been blessed with true sight. They started escorting you back to the castle. There was a brief turnabout as Modar was talking to Tragadesh, trying to get to speak with the head of the city, which, as he was doing detect magic, Vethin came into view. It was like a blinding light for a moment, so he had to drop the detect magic.
Yeah.
Explained the situation. There was a bit of study going on as he retrieved the crystal from what the Bone Devil had, and found out the various mixtures of spells between imprisonment, necromancy, conjuration, and forthright on the various spell works, and came to realize very quickly that some of the spells did not operate correctly, and it was a faulty item. Realizing that the imprisonment part didn't work, it somehow had gone completely awry. Thus, Modar had been transposed from his position in the city of Sigil with Aiden Ka. At this point, obviously, many people are confused and still trying to figure out what to do, but found out that Ku and Modar have been linked in a way, to the point where if one were to possibly die, it might end up killing the other, likely. Which at this point, there was an agreement to obviously take a little bit of time, let Viston research a good portion of this and see what is possibly able to be done with this situation, especially for the amount of magics that have been intersect. It'll be a great amount of difficulty, but obviously it still gives time anyway, as you are awaiting your airship, no less.
Alright, we are getting one of those, right?
Yeah.
So, can we cover what Jin's reaction? It would have been, "Who the fuck are you?" Yeah. As he explained, he is a lawyer from a plane very far from here. He was in the midst of prosecuting, actually in the midst of a court case against one Kuposhak for crimes of interdimensional traveling without licenses, disruption of the peace, theft, assault, a couple of other things. When, he got zapped. And then he found himself in a fight with a Bone Devil and all of you guys.
Was he, like, at court, or was it, like, litigating?
Let's say he was with Ku, so it was at court. He wouldn't have.
So he was with a coup.
Yes. He was addressing the defendant who was at the podium at the time. That's the stand.
Does he understand that this coup has been with us the whole time?
This has been what the conversation has been about, that these are different people, that this coup is not the coup. Like, obviously he looks different, he's wearing different clothes, he doesn't act the same. This is obviously a different plane. So this is kind of
I guess. All right.
That's kind of what I wanted to ask, is what is the party's tone with Modar at this point? Because as far as he's displayed, he's incredibly dispassionate. So he's just trying to figure out what, very logic, and just trying to figure out what's going on. He's still temperature checking everything. So if you guys are talking with him, then that's something. But if you guys are still,
I mean, I'd
doing
ask about
Yeah.
this coup and like,
Well,
yo, he's
as-
right here. I don't know what you're. He's been with us this whole time, you know. Like,
and I can take that word as you give it, but you have to understand that I don't know what's happened or how I am here besides this failed little thing. I can recognize that this is not the person. Okay, this does not fully encapsulate the being that I was attempting to charge with a crime, and is thus should not receive ill treatment from me. We can agree upon that. What I want to know is what you all want from me besides, well, why can I not just find a way back to my home now? You suppose you arrested Aiden?
I mean, if
No,
we
he didn't. He
knew,
didn't arrest Aiden. Modar and Aiden swapped places in reality. So suddenly Aiden was standing in the middle of court, and Modar was standing in Ku's arms.
Correct. Very awkward.
Could we still be telepathically connected?
You bitch!
To
You bitch!
Aiden,
You
or is it
motherfucker!
too far? Is
no,
it too
it's
far?
super fun.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, super far.
Shucks.
We understand that you are as much a victim here as we are. So I apologize for my tone earlier.
Always a diplomat.
But
Appreciate
we
that. Oh,
we do not possess the magic or the mysticism wherein it seems very easy for you to transport between dimensions or planes. We do not possess that sort of mysticism. It will take time to get you back to your realm.
I am a student of law, and of magic, but for the protection of myself. I've never, I, I'm not learned in the powerful magics of planar transportation. This will take quite some time, and if I'm, if I'm put in the position where my lifeline back could be severed by harm to me or your friend, it seems prudent then for me to attempt to keep you all alive and thus protect myself with your mighty presences.
Wow, you're really putting it on thick there, huh?
It would seem the logical path.
Yes, it would. No, he'll
Well,
die.
No.
I did have a third character
No,
I
don't
did have
say
another
that.
character concept up, so if it's gonna be the
course you're
whole party
ready.
on Modar, I will
course.
take you all on right now. Let's go.
This sounds personal.
Oh boy.
May I
Brother
ask
Jin, I
what?
will remind you. He's
Where do we
not
go
his
from here?
fault.
Well,
Try
what
to get him back somehow.
what are you all even doing? Why are you? I see several powerful adventurers with much armor and magics I've not seen anything like of outside the treasury. But what is?
But
And he
what?
points at the silver stone on the Grandmaster's staff. It's on his staff, or is it on his armor?
That would be on his armor.
It's on his armor. Okay, yeah. So he points at it, and he says, "What is that?"
This would be one of many rune stones that obviously have been made but repurposed for the betterment of good.
notebooks, writing. He holds the book, but a mage
What are
hand
you
is writing
writing?
it. He's taking notes. He's writing down. He's written runestone, powerful magical item, da da da, one of many. And there's
I
several
know,
like
but can I like tell he's doing that?
yeah. It's if you can read. Actually, probably not. He would probably write it in Vidalcan. So unless you can read that,
Oh yeah, I
it's very clearly like
took
bulleted
Vidalcan
notes
as an
though.
elective.
I mean, I like that Rain's saying behave after Rain. um, I cut you off, Josh, to describe me writing in a book.
It's fine. I love everything that's happening right now. Obviously, the runestone is not something that could really help you in this matter, but I will see what I can find out. Just be patient. It might take a day or two. But obviously, they'll be mostly trying to figure out what this spell did so I could start to try and figure out how to reverse it at the same time.
Out of character, we were literally like a day away from getting back on our adventure and questing. So like, thanks for the monkey in the wrench.
Yeah, you're right.
It seems that this will take some time and that there's no good guarantee on when I am going home. So, you don't need my help. You're beyond what I can assist you with in this, I believe.
An accurate statement.
Right. So, as a form of apology for not being your friend, allow me to help the rest of you on what you're doing. Yes, Modar, it was Paladin. We got introductions last session. He knows your name. He knows that you're called Jin. I guess I would say former lawyer now. Yes. I'm filled with fear. Oh. If we were to get into a situation, I'm sitting here with actual fear of the question that's about to get asked. You can
All
bail
right,
us
I
out.
hear you, dog. Shit.
My skills do lie in the protection and ending of rogue magics. I served for many years on an anti-magic squad. Do you have crossing guards
So
here
he's a
similar
fucking
to that?
narc. He was a fed.
No, he dealt with like you think
The ant.
think Ron Weasley's dad like deals with rogue magics.
Oh, the aura.
Yeah, like when shit in a high fantasy setting goes wrong, sometimes you get animated dressers that walk down the street stripping and dressing people, and like it gets bad, you know.
I believe I would be of some of assistance to you all.
You are familiar with the laws of magic?
Intimately. This is why my
What do
appearance
you know
here.
about
Yes, sorry.
That came off a little strong there.
your appearance here? Go ahead.
I can't explain it, and it's upsetting. Deeply. So.
Oh, I can see through the walls.
That's hilarious.
I mean, not much to worry about here.
Oh, Jesus. Bro, don't say things like that.
If you are familiar with the laws of magic, then you must be familiar with contracts made with demons and devils. This be correct?
Yes. Yeah, I have a feature.
Would you
yes.
happen to know anything about what is required to summon and in some way trap a demon or devil?
Ooh.
Josh, do I know like I know that there are summoning spells for demons, right?
You would know full well, especially the legalities of that, including with the fact that you've had to deal with the sigil, celestials, devils, infernals, abyssal creatures, all fall into your purview. That would definitely be it, but you know also for a fact that you would need the actual true name of the devil.
Right. Or I would need some kind of very high level spell, because oh shit, I accidentally exited out of Roll20. I'm like tabbing open D&D Beyond to start looking through
Okay.
spells. Boop, boop. I know summon lesser demons is a 3rd level spell, but that's not super helpful, and it also requires a blood sacrifice. So not super. You need blood of a murdered humanoid from the last 24 hours.
And that would be abyssal creatures too.
So we need a devil. Yeah, so I relay that I would need a true name of them. I would need magical components. I would give them a list of like specific types of candles, powders, salt, incense that would need to be burned. There would need to be silver and I would probably need something with the harmonic. What's the thing that when you can tell it you need something with the plane's like resonance tuned to that plane? Yeah, a planar tuning fork attuned to one of the layers of hell. So yeah, so it's a pretty big shopping list, but
A very expensive one.
yeah, but he does know that, and he could, in theory, do something about it.
Great. We just need Pelgrim's actual name.
Indeed.
Is it?
Well, so in that case, I'll take that as a yes.
Wait.
Yeah,
Don't we
short
know?
answer, yes.
Don't we know the name of the succubus? Like her actual name? Because we could potentially summon her to tell us where Pelgrim is. She doesn't like him, you know? Or if she knows his name. She hates his guts. She even quasi helped us.
But would she know his name is the question. She was just a succubus. Like, I mean, not to be like she was just a succubus, but he is a pit
No,
fiend.
she was just a succubus. I mean,
Sounds like the name of a
we
rap
could
song.
either try to find out or not, you know?
Litigated out of her.
That's well, the fact that you have
I
that
could
skill
always
set
try.
is. First and foremost,
If you have a
let me
contract
suggest
you would like
that-
me to look at, I can do so.
No, I do not make contracts with devils.
Ah, smart man.
But
Except with that demon.
nope, that was you guys.
Although we picked the shit out of that before we sent him away.
Oh yeah, the one that found themselves to us.
Yeah.
Nelcath. Maybe.
Once again, you guys. Just saying.
I'm staying out of this.
That one was pretty solid, though.
Staying out of this.
Okay.
Well, sorry, but I was just gonna say, in that case, Modar, before we start asking favors from you when you have been a victim of something that was meant to harm us, I would suggest you get what rest you can. If you will be stuck in this realm for much longer, you may want to get your bearings. I'd suggest the rest of us regain our strength as well.
You make a very good point.
Grand Maester, if I may have a final word.
You may.
Aiden. Nope. Modar wants to, basically, he wants to view his library before he goes to lay down. He wants to familiarize himself with the lore of this place as best he can. And for him, that's going to be a book.
This way then.
Perfect.
Lead you to the Grand Library. Artress.
Okay.
Let's see.
Turn.
Yeah. Quick scan. He's looking for anything that's talking about the stones as well.
Roll me an investigation.
That's a 22.
So, obviously, Veth will let you have at it. Obviously, go to his own quarters to start dealing with the matters at hand.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, it was basically I wanted his permission. Especially me, Modar didn't expect him to personally escort him to the library. Like, holy shit, this guy's got Power Ranger armor on.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I grab a book, about the city, and I grab, if I can, like, I am not necessarily trying to be stealthy, but like he's grabbing another book, and then the mage hand grabs something and adds it to the stack.
Alright.
Just like almost like he's not even paying attention, just nonchalant, you know. Just want to know about what's going on here.
You can definitely see that Artress looks a little surprised and confused. What the hell's even going on right now? But just assumes it's obviously city matters and goes back to reading the book that she currently has. But
yeah, I take my books and I'll go to bed after that. I just want to read a bunch and stuff before I do eventually sleep.
alright. So with that, you'll the information you dig up for what was not found. Speaking how some of these runestones, though a good portion of them had been lost or separated in the more mercantile districts of the kingdom, you find out that there were a few that had been purposely locked away to make sure that no other creatures really reach them. A group of mages that have been hired originally by the various merchant princes that hold that part of the kingdom had decided to make arcane vault to try and make sure that creatures like that would not be able to reach it with relative ease anymore. And that if this is true, it is a good likelihood that however or wherever this vault may be hidden is still within that part of the world.
And this is the same. Modar doesn't know this, but this is the order that the Grand Maester, that's not it. The Maester, the Magisters. Fuck my tongue. That's like the order that he's on, right? Or was on.
He was definitely a part of it, but
Okay,
he was not one of the mages responsible for keeping the vault shut.
Right. What was the name of that organization? I don't have it in my notes. I'm adding it now.
So the name of that organization was.
A dope shirt, by the way, Ramus. It's cool. I like it.
Thank you.
No problem.
It's actually really, really, really old. I got it in a thrift shop, I believe.
Well,
I like the color pattern, like the cyan blue and the pink purple.
It's like a Nike. He's got Air Max on, but he's supposed to look like one of those Tron dudes.
Right, yeah. That looks good. Sweet. Thank you, Josh.
The Vushi. This organization, obviously, keeping things in a much more subtle order, and you can tell that this information is definitely not prevalent to really outside of anyone of higher order, even personally had dealt with some of this.
Okay. So I can assume that he probably has something to do with it, or maybe like has a relative that did it. Can I make that connection?
For that, it's an easy assumption, especially for the amount of magic he wields himself.
Okay. Cool.
This doesn't seem kind of like a public novelization. This seems more of like a personal record that he's kept in print.
Okay. Cool.
So, as Modar is doing the research there, Trakadash invites the rest of you. Please, obviously you're all welcome to spend the night for as long as needed, and we have been making progress on your ship. It will be, it won't be fitted with the same amount of cannons and all, but it'll still be at least a operational ship.
What time of day is it right now?
Currently, especially after everything that went on, it would be around the 5 o'clock mark.
5 p.m.?
Yeah.
Can I just go wander the halls?
You can.
Cool.
As
You bump into
Rain
me
is
in the
walking up,
halls.
before
Knock the books out of my hand.
Rain disappears, I just nerd.
Who's a nerd?
I was just gonna say before Rain. No, I was gonna say if you like knock the books out of like Modar's hands,
Oh.
you'd have been like nerd. But before Rain like heads off completely, I tell the group that I'm gonna need help with something down in one of the magic resistant chambers or the magic reinforced chambers that they said they might have. And I asked Trakadash for a pair of shackles. And I say, Ramus, I need you and Nira to help me in a ceremony.
Let's do it.
You can come and witness it, but I must ask that you do not interfere.
I will do my best, sir, then. I don't usually partake in the rituals themselves, but if you truly need me. You can see Nero just kind of hands it.
And if
Ready for whatever you need.
okay. Whenever we've got a magic proof, or at least a magic reinforced, not magic proof, but a magic reinforced cell. Like something where it's like if anything goes on in there, it's not gonna like rip the top off the world or something like that. You know, just like where mages can practice, I imagine.
Hold on. What are you doing that could rip the top off the world? Sir?
Don't worry about it,
Sir?
you punk, you blue little Smurf looking so and so. No, just us.
You so.
Call me a Smurf. I don't even have a white hat.
Fucking damn.
God damn.
Try.
We'll knit you one. We'll knit you one.
We do have magic resistant cells, ones that prevent casting. Obviously, we need them for, well, wily wizards that have been arrested by the Silver Knights. I would imagine that might help, as it prevents casting most of the time.
Well, I need something where magic can be cast, but magic can't escape. Or we could just go with an empty room and, hope the shackles work.
I'm sorry, who are you using?
Hope for the best.
Well, usually you could cast it into the cell. It would be from within the cell that magic would be null and void.
Need someone to magically hold something down?
What is the goal right now?
Oh, shit. Thalos looks at Rain and says,
Me. Dun, dun, dun.
So,
yeah.
I'm fairly sure these cells might be of help. You follow me. I'll lead you towards
All right.
the prison that's underneath the Grand Register's castle.
Follow track and dash. I asked Nira to put the shackles on me. In front, not back. I'll have some dignity.
I'm sorry, why are we shackling you?
About to go to prison.
I need to do something that has made me a liability to this group. Something I hope to cure.
Okay.
This. Hold on. We can talk about this.
Oh no, something
shackle
happened that we weren't privy to before that is now time to deal with before it gets worse.
No. It's actually something that happened, and you guys were all there. It's just we don't really talk about it, but you're about to find out.
Oh, okay.
I'm incredibly worried. And I'm very
Alright,
blown
so-
out, but I'm very worried.
I'm not.
Alright,
We're
what do we
pretty, we're still alive,
do we need to-
so.
What do we need to do?
Enter the cell, and I need Nira and Ramis to enter the cell with me, and I need the Delacroix to stay outside of the cell. As a matter of fact, to plug their ears and stay
Why?
outside of the cell.
You're trying to hide
your
it
own
from
sake.
us?
Interesting.
No. I'm not trying to hide it, but for your own safety.
You calling us weak?
No. Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
I'm messing. I'm sorry. Go on.
Motor's
Just
upstairs
like that.
reading a book, taking some notes, reading a book, flipping some pages. And you guys are like, I can't come into the cell with you while you
Okay.
do some crazy.
All right, fine. Do your thing.
Oh,
We'll
actually,
be
you know what?
outside. We'll just keep
You
an
know what?
eye
Actually,
out. We'll keep an eye
I'm
out.
sorry. Actually,
Cool.
Nira cannot come into the cell either. Nira's already cuffed me. Only Ramis can come into the cell with me. Nira, just in case anything goes wrong and I accidentally kill Ramis, she can kill me on my way out. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Everything's gonna be cool.
Can I should one of them like bless me before I come in, or it won't matter because the cell?
They can definitely bless.
it-
The other spell effects that are still going would be able to enter, and it
I do.
stops like magic from really escaping this chamber.
Oh, okay. Is it because
Okay.
we're super physical based?
For that, no. These cells were specifically designed in mind for wizards.
No, that was actually to Thalos. But all right, let's do it.
Yeah. That's
All
what's
right,
happening,
we'll be
Jen.
outside.
It's because of Ramis' head. I can't resist it anymore.
I like that Tragadash is also
You
outside.
and Ramus were fun.
Yeah, Dragon
Like,
Ash is
only
gonna
the
move back.
closest-
All right. I
people-
look at Ramis and I say, as soon as the door is shut, I look at Ramis and I say, This has been a liability to the group. And now that Aiden is gone, only one of us has survived hearing the name of the Yellow King. Name is uttered.
Dun, dun,
We run the risk of being defeated. But since you heard it and you survived it, you can hear it and say it
Like 3 times.
without going mad. I need you to say the name while I am bound and incapable of hurting anyone or running anywhere. I need you to say the name until I can overcome it the way that you did. Because unfortunately, once
y'all should
again,
probably step
Aiden is
back for a
gone.
second.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess Ramus turns to all of them, and you should probably move out of earshot.
Well, yeah, plug their ears and sing
See you
nursery
outside.
song.
See you later.
Jin is telling the story of Rumpelstiltskin.
There's no guarantee this is gonna work.
Earmuffs.
To but I'm gonna cast where are you? Guidance. In an attempt to make this saving throw. Wait. All right, sorry. What's up, Jen? Oh. Yourselves. No. You're protecting yourselves.
No, you're all in
He's
danger.
gonna. I don't know if you heard me. Yeah.
She could all be bad.
You just need to stay outside. We'll be
Yeah.
outside.
Don't
Don't
say that, Josh. I'm trying to do like a.
DM God, I don't think you ever actually gave us the name.
Oh, I did.
Do you want to?
It's
I was gonna say, do you want to send
Haster.
it to me or just?
you just said it. That's true.
Oh, right, Haster. Right, you did.
Yeah.
So
Start foaming. IRL. Imagine
Oh my gosh.
tentacles crawl out from under my eyeballs.
alright,
Okay, so
So going to be saying Hastru to Thalos.
yeah, he's
Need to hear you say it, man.
Haster the dick in the butt.
So
His actual canon last name.
Thalos, I need you to make me
Does it
a
work?
wisdom saving throw.
All right, I'm making this. I'm rolling guidance as well.
Yeah, so you do D4.
Just FYI. So roll. I'm adding 3, 2, and all right. Let's. Maybe this is a bad idea. This might have been a bad idea. Come on, roll 20. All right. I'm
Bated
sorry. What?
breath.
Oh, yeah, it's wisdom.
Wait, can I summon in here or no? Can I summon them outside? If I summoned my things outside the cells and they tried to come in, since they can go incorporeal, would they disappear?
With that, I don't think they would disappear, but at the same time, if you summon outside, you'd still be able to summon. But with that, you are just fine. You
Did it?
Yeah, you made the same. Like, you feel like almost just kind of your skin crawl hearing this name.
Sick to his stomach.
Yeah, it doesn't feel pleasant hearing the name of the Yellow King. But at the same time, you briefly remember hearing this way before, but you lost yourself, and it was also at the same time where Nira had gone mad originally herself and assaulted Ramus.
Yeah. And he didn't press charges.
It's true. No domestic disputes.
He's a lawyer.
Okay, so
Okay,
that worked
all right.
out.
As he says the name, and I feel whatever it is like resisting, I just kind of like flare my eyes and my my aberrant dragon mark, and okay, but I'm all right.
What?
Did I come through? Do I have a secret ailment
No, what are you saying here?
or like?
So,
One of your fingers is now longer than it was before.
Especially for the mention, a lot of the times you guys have gone through hearing the name of Haston. A lot of creatures that are usually abyssal or something more foul. It's usually the ones that have heard it before. Discussing that name almost feels like it kind of draws eyes upon you that you know aren't there, but almost as if they're trying to look at you from a distance in a different way.
Stare back into the ether, if against that feeling.
So you're going to focus on that feeling?
I focus on that feeling, and I focus on defying the eyes that are looking at me, and I grasp the green runestone, empowering it with my defiance.
Let's see. Roll me a flat wisdom. Alrighty.
And I attempt to
He gets
re-roll that
He gets spectrally pimp
with
slapped.
my
Well,
with
it's
my
flat. It's flat
inspiration.
wisdom, not save, right?
It is flat. You can use your inspiration for that. I would allow that.
I am going to attempt to once again flat wisdom. I defy the eyes.
Oh. So.
And I pour that defiance into my runestone.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry.
So, as you pour that in, you could feel kind of like the eyes trying to push you out, kind of peering almost into darkness. So there's a point where you do see, only in your vision, Dallas, the flames there, the sconces, and every bit of torchlight start to dim for a moment. It almost feels like time kind of slowly ticks to a stop, and you feel like a part of you has been anchored to the runestone as you just fall through the world, through the stone, and you start to be able to push back the veil finally of what has been trying to seep into your mind as you kind of hold it at bay. It's almost like trying to push through a thick underbrush that like scratches and bites at you as you're trying to reach further beyond to see what's there, what's looking at you, hidden away. And there's that point where you reach a glint of yellow in the distance, far underground in the darkness. And you feel that anchor point, even though you use the stone to resist it, you also feel that it's kind of guided you accidentally to this exact spot. Familiarity kind of sinks in between you and the stone, where you can feel the same emotions of the item you're holding. You're pulled very, very quickly through this city, and you can see that there's glints of yellow crystals, yellow chalk dust, and others, and creatures that whip by way too quickly to grab a face of, really. Until there's a point where you're standing upon what looks like a blackened over pool, the same black iridescent blood that gives a sheen and a shimmer. And then one frail looking veiled mirror. For a brief moment as you're kind of looking into it, you start to see what seems almost like flowing motion, as if the blood itself had flown up around you, but instead is kind of behind the mirror. You don't see your reflection, but somebody else's who's mimicked your position.
Who is it?
Before the very eyes, you see the long yellow robe a blacked out veil in front.
I see you found your way home.
Oh shit.
Did you just like use a voice modulator?
Was the shit. Sorry, but it was. I've seen my way to your defeat.
Maybe let's not start
Know
talking
that
shit
Thalos
yet.
Helgard is coming for you.
Or give him your name.
I
He
see
knows
you
my
found
name.
one of my children then, Thanos. We'll see how defiant you are when you return to where it all started. I look forward to you arriving at my doorstep. I'll be sure to keep a special eye on you now.
We won't keep you waiting long.
Good.
Deadass!
So with that,
Skirt.
you feel yourself get almost like forcibly pushed out and backed out through the stone. All of you who are watching this, you could actually see what seems like full roiling ink black over Thalos' eyes for a brief moment before finally kind of resurfacing, and you see a burst of the emerald flame kind of cover over his body, protecting him, as you just take a deep breath and finally feel the rush of your soul being slammed back into your body. You can see Nira looking at both of you in the cell, a little nervously, like ready to pull the sword out.
I looked to Ramus. I saw him. The Yellow King. He called the runestones his children. And he knows that we will be his end.
Well, he can go fuck himself. I'm sure we all have a weapon waiting to say hello.
Agreed. Free me. Or, well, make sure that I am not... Free me. We have much to do.
I'm assuming he gave me the keys, so obviously I free him.
That it's the real Thalos.
And someone has to free us from the from the cell.
Right, the locked cell door, but they have their backs turned and their ears plugged, so how do you let them know to turn around?
Poke him with the butt of my sword. Hey.
So, obviously, Nero will turn around, open up the cell. You all. You can see Rain, the strange dragonborn, like trying to peer out the cell, like looking, and like kind of whispers to you, like, you got the key? Like, pass it over.
From the cell behind us?
Next
I don't know you, man.
Do it. Do it, you won't. God put them in your path, Rain.
Maybe we ask who he is first.
Yo,
This
Dragon
is not
Ash,
house.
who's this asshole at the end?
We didn't just go into strange places and free their prisoners.
Don't we, though? Isn't that half of what we do?
You want to free him? You go ahead.
I'm
Days.
I'm a square. I'm already in bed.
Punk.
If I don't get my 8 hours of beauty sleep, I'm not happy.
I'm not an elf. I can't
No,
just
this-
trance.
What kind of species?
This
is
dude's
this
about to.
individual?
This dude's about to give
She's
us
a
an
dragonborn with
airship.
a tail.
Yeah.
Is
Terrifying.
this individual like young, old, sprightly?
How many Dragonborn do you think you've probably met?
Oh.
Well, there was wait, no, there was not Lyric. Wait, what's his
The
name?
guy in the cell.
Alec.
in the-
Alec.
yeah.
Brazier. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think no. Wait, was there one in town? Was there one in town? With the blacksmith? I can't quite remember.
That was.
We've run into quite a few.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll me an insight.
A couple.
Just to
Me?
try and estimate their age.
Josh likes Dragonborn. We've met a couple.
Yeah.
You said to roll an insight.
Yes, mate.
Sexy.
It's
How's that?
especially from where they conjecture themselves, you could easily guess that they're probably somewhere in their mid-20s.
Okay, so not a child. I'm gonna ask him what he's doing here.
Yo, this dude's about to give us an airship and help us out. Maybe we shouldn't be freeing his prisoners.
Alright, fine. Fair enough. Good argument.
Come back.
Listen, we got goals. We gotta go.
Are we-
Is Dalos like still in there? Or okay, you're done. Cool, let's go. Let's get out of
I think I just came
here.
out.
Can I ask who that guy
I'm gonna
is?
look at the Delacroix.
So with that, the Tragadesh will step aside as one of the guards will come up to tell you. Her name is Sibam Suzida. She had a few too many drinks and had damaged quite a significant amount of the merchant district. Yeah, with that, you can hear her kind of argue back, like, "It's not my fault. I was trying to get my money. They tried to rob me on my drinking competition. I want that fair and square."
How much damage did she do?
With that, he will actually go over and pull out one of the parchments from his desk and start reading it off. 500 gold damage to merchant stalls and districts. Much of the road was upheaved between a ground tremor. Some of the areas were burnt as well from a persistent fireball that she had pushed down the street chasing them. With that, Jen, you make that everything. Oh, you're on.
Not a good idea.
She also kind of sounds like she should be hanging with us. That's actually pretty cool, the fireball thing.
Nah.
She has been a problem before, sir, and at the same time, she still has to serve out 9 months for the damages she could not pay for.
Well, shit. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm out of character. My character wouldn't be super into just being like, no, we need to free them. He'd be like, well, shit happened.
Don't get in a fight.
Well,
I feel like
Make
my
it for me.
character would be really torn about this, going back and forth.
Including your brother volunteering you to outdrink them. Just think about this, if they
Firstly-
lose and they're just pissed drunk, passed out unconscious in a cell.
That's true.
would he go for that, or would they be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, alright, whatever.
Wait. How much is this worth to us? Do we want to piss off the guy who's giving us an airship?
No. Well, I'm not.
No, not for 500 gold worth of damage.
All right, I say we out. But
This
I
is
know
the
I'd
big- this is the
I'll
big
trick this
bad.
motherfucker. Are you kidding me?
Kill him just to make sure they're not going to be a bad guy later.
Wow.
Just reaches
You
to
left
the
me in that cell.
You motherfucker! I've trained every day since then. It's been 2 weeks. I've trained every day since then. Excellent.
Do you seriously do
Oh,
that,
boy.
Jen? Yeah, I just gotta make sure.
I say we go. We have too much at stake
Um,
here.
Unless we want to collect another NPC, but
More.
I think we've already got squad.
You got a large squad.
You go deep.
Yeah, no. I'm sure they've got a fantastic backstory and some interesting things, but it's not worth the airship we're about to get.
Perfectly fair. Sure, back up to the main floor.
Thank Krakadash for his help once again. Does he take tips? Or is he just a fantastic butler?
He's a fantastic butler. He tries to be his best. He's heard of the legendary Alfred. No. Please, I do my best.
Alf the Red.
Okay, Alf the Red. He's a half elf, but yeah, he has served the greatest of kings. Well, I'll be sure to
All right.
bring any nightcaps as you need them, and obviously there's a great deal of information for all of you to handle, so do not be bashful and call me when you most definitely need me.
Rain with the multiple nightcaps per night.
Has the mobile mini
I'm probably gonna need a full bottle of brandy tonight. After that.
You're muted, Rain.
Most understandable after that, sir.
To a bar?
To the bar.
To the tavern!
Track dash will raid.
Why go to the tavern? They have free booze here.
Ramus grabs a bottle and
Oh, right.
Nira, and good to see the you're feeling better after that underwater spell.
I can definitely show you how much better I'm feeling tonight.
Fuck yeah! Everyone's going
These
drinking
NPCs
and
are forward.
She's a Goliath, bro. What are you expecting?
Magnum condoms, I guess.
Safety first.
I mean,
Agreed.
at the same time, you say they're forward. At the same time, Ku is like even afraid to ask you straight up.
That's true.
Adorable.
Y'all are punks.
I have found spells. I have found spells that would summon devils, but it wouldn't be a very high level fiend.
You would know that being able to summon high levels devils and fiends like that, unfortunately, usually do require a small amount of sacrifice.
Yeah, even Infernal Calling, which I could actually learn, requires a ruby worth at least 1,000 GP, and it only lasts for an hour, and it's only challenge rating 6 or lower.
That would be a succubus.
So I could, if you guys do want to do that succubus, Modar can do that. I could learn that spell over the course of tomorrow. Give me. What is it? An hour per level. I gotta read how to copy things into my spellbook.
It's usually an hour per every level, and I think like 50 gold for every one. And inks.
For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 GP. So that's at 5th level. That's 250 GP and 10 hours. So it'll take me all day tomorrow, but I could be ready by the end of the day. Or, well, I guess I didn't say that was one of the books I was grabbing, so can't do it overnight. But that route is open, so I don't know if we want to time skip to morning, or if people have stuff.
Definitely can.
I say skip.
All right.
So obviously,
Invite everybody back to my room for some brandy if they until they get for time skip to morning.
When you say everybody,
just
Oh, I mean everyone in the party proper. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to interrupt you
there it is. There it is. No, I wanted to make
from
sure.
your research.
Perfect. No, this is good. That's what I wanted, because it would have been, because he would have
Dash
been
is
there, but it would have
there.
been awkward. I love you.
So
Just wow.
obviously able to have your drinks, spend some time together, get your private rooms, and do what you wish. Thalos, as you dream, you start to realize that the point where you're walking around your dream is not kind of like how usually is, like not through a city, a grove, the normal means that you are able to just kind of explore your dream space. You start to take notice that there's sheens and different kind of images and ripples throughout the night. When you look at the sky, you start to realize that it starts to show almost kind of like the same kind of ripple and shape, and then you recognize that the sky isn't really blue anymore, but still has the same kind of like emerald color to the stone that you currently have. And there's a point where you start to realize that you're actually walking around in a different cityscape inside the runestone as you dream with it.
What? Is he on another plane?
As you proceed forward, you start to see a few more faces here and there. Others that are kind of like brief ripples or sounds like echoes from the past. There's a point where, as you pass through one of the different sections of the city, you start to see different areas, things that seem like old battles. They're playing out in slow motion, where you can easily pass by, but you see swords and arrows, spells being slung. Very briefly, you see the shimmers of these people's faces pass by. And there's a point where, as you're exploring through these various cityscapes, see that some are connected, almost like you're walking through a path of forgotten timeline. And you start to see one soul that seems to be kind of glowing in the distance, deep within the runestone. But before you fully get to it,
anyone out?
you wake up.
Huh. I sit up. Is everybody still there, or did they let themselves out?
Those who let themselves out, obviously, it's early morning, but obviously you did get your long rest, but it felt like you had been walking around for hours, going through the estranged Emerald City of memories that you were walking through.
Emerald City.
Off to meet the wizard.
Literally what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out my pink diary and begin to write it down.
With the troll at the end of your pencil.
Dear diary.
shit
That's
got
not funny.
fucking weird.
The first person that well, it depends on who I see first. But the first person that I see that has a runestone, I will actually tell them. I will actually ask them. Well, I'll approach them about it. But otherwise, I'll just wait to see everybody at breakfast.
So easy enough. Be early morning, obviously waiting for everyone to kind of get moving after yesterday's events. Propose shack would be synonymous with anonymous for the time being.
Here's a question for you, Josh. How similar is the food here to what I normally would eat?
It's what you would normally eat from the city of Sigil. Probably fairly different. Like, you have options from pretty much multiple dimensions.
Right, like magically prepared and created, and some
What
even
would he eat?
infused.
Probably all sorts of exotic planar food, like, kind of creatures from the elemental airplane, and different kinds of griffins and chickens, fruits, and other more solid kind of figs and such from like the elemental earth plane as well. Things that have been kind of blood over, different spices that have come from the planar of fire, and even a few eloquent wines and such that would probably come from Mount Celestia in the heavenly realms.
You know, if we've got money that night.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend we can drink that every day.
But in the city of Sigil, passing through all those various kind of supplies, materials, foods, and such are a hell of a lot easier, especially considering what their trade is. With a lot of the foods there, obviously, especially since he's on one of the more up and up jobs of being a prosecutor, definitely eat a lot more finery. This comes pretty close to it. This is, especially for the Grand Manchester, what they're serving up is pretty solid. Like, this seems like...
But not awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
This seems like your kind of everyday meal kind of stuff.
Right, a banquet is set, and it's just like, oh, only one of, like, one dish of caviar? Weird.
Pretty much.
Why not just fabricate a second one? Just make another one.
That is usually pretty commonplace. So, obviously, Trakadesh will be happily serving up most of the dishes. Master Veth will be down shortly. He is obviously collecting the rest of his notes from what he was able to find out last night.
Most excellent.
Cookie. Bellows, do you
Good
look
morning,
tired? Does your character look tired from what's going on? Like,
is there any? Let me ask this, Josh. Is there natural sunlight coming into this room, or is it all like torchlight?
There's definitely natural sunlight coming in. Like, they have the whole top, like here in this grand hall, as a glass roof. So.
Then I walk into the chamber with a pair of like forge goggles. It's pretty much like sunglasses on. So I probably look hungover.
okay.
But I'm walking like normal. But you don't know my deal. So like, I mean,
Right.
the fact that I'm walking
Sunglasses
into a
in
room
the
full of
morning.
sunlight, kind of like squinting and like, yeah.
Good morning.
Rough one.
Seems I went to bed a bit sooner than you all did. I've done some research, and he
Dunks a book down. He was reading at the table while he was eating. He dunks it down on the stack, and he says,
from the magic items you wear and what I've learned of the histories of this place, it seems I took the wrong tone with you all initially. and I would like to apologize. I should not have
take-
assumed that you were the cause of this, though. Well, forgive me for assuming a group as powerful as you were not the ones who bungled this.
I
Moda,
like you
you
less than what
turned
What?
Moda.
less
I'm
and
sorry.
less before you talk.
Well,
Moda,
yes.
you are as much a victim as we were.
I appreciate that.
We recognize that, and we know that you, and you call us powerful, but you seem to forget that you turned a tribe of demons on their masters in the
How?
middle of that square.
Well, thank you. That is very kind of you. I did not seek to use that on you harmfully. I merely attempted to defend myself.
Of course.
But it was well
Did you
done.
sleep
He
well?
like preens a little bit. You see him like rub his head. Continue. Yes, what you were saying.
Well,
Did you all have a good night? It seems.
So what do we do now?
Well, we're waiting for the Magister. Yes, Grand Magister.
I don't mean like right now.
Ah, well, we get your friend back. That will most likely take some doing. Perhaps we'll need a magical artifact. He gestures at like a couple of the things that you guys have to power it, or some such. I'm here to assure that, and he like looks around for Ku and doesn't see him. That Mr. Poshak does not that he is safe. Where is
Mr.
he?
Poshak.
Yes, I mean your friend. Yes. Ku, Ku, Ku. Yes.
So you're trailing along with us for a while then.
It seems so, unless, well, if it was an easy answer, I assumed we would have already had it.
Well, hope
there
you like
is no
adventure.
easy answer.
Never is.
Hope you like adventure, because we
Ad-
get pretty straight to it.
Adventure? I've not. What do you mean? Like camping?
You wearing your traveling boots?
He's wearing very nice, like, not to quote Megamind, but I'm gonna quote Megamind, baby steel leather boots.
Well, then I guess we're either gonna break that in, or hopefully you get something worth adventuring in.
I should visit a store on this place. Do you all take, I mean, gold is gold. Yes. Guess it doesn't really matter what's stamped on it.
We don't need money, but money is money.
Money is money. Yeah, that's what they say on Sigil too. Ah, the man we've all been waiting for.
Yes, money is money. But nonetheless, I do not think money would be able to fix the situation that has happened. This would require a particular set of magic items that is no longer in my possession.
And do we get a hint on what they are?
Yes, a map, perhaps?
I'm not really sure how much a map would be helpful to you, but more or less a writ, something showing you as representatives needing to collect something from a prison that had been created. Originally, one of my order had thought it wise to start delving into necromancy on a much higher level. At the same time, when we had decided to trap them, as well as make sure that much of their magic would be sealed away with them, gave them a place to rest where they wouldn't be disturbed, but also turned it into a prison at the same time. We thought it would be a good idea to put some of the rune stones in there as well, though I'm not sure how many of
Does that follow? I'm sorry, you've got a bunch of enemies and very powerful magics, and you put them both in the same place?
a prison that's only accessible from the outside. On the inside, you would usually have to have the key to get out. So those who had entered don't have a way to exit.
Terrifying.
It was a good bait. And worked quite exponentially.
So we have more to add to our list of things to do.
Unfortunately.
Do we know where we can find one of these, or the vicinity of one might be? Or who would know?
We just need the entrance, right? Because it's not. It sounds like it's not in this plane.
One of the archmages that work for what is now known as the Merchant Kingdom of Blaruso.
Guess we're making another stop on our airship, huh?
I can.
Can we go to the world map real quick?
Yeah.
Punk.
Can we go to a cavern?
That's on our way. Shit, that's on our way to. There's a runestone in that desert area, isn't there? Or there might be.
The weapon for the green runestone.
Oh, the one. So. Oh, that's what the G on the map, or.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the Z is where Zuri's supposed temple was, but also the Pugilist gauntlets that go with the gold.
What?
Ruse.
What is the B?
The blue.
Possibly the blue root cell.
Another
So-
water-based thing.
So then I guess we're maybe our plan, instead of going to Shishipunik first, we fly down to Blur's. How do you say it?
Blaruso.
Well, maybe.
Blurzo?
Maybe
And
we take
then
the
we
long
go
way.
up to the weapon and the temple.
It seems like. Forgive me, but if we're entering a place that we know has no exit except that can be found with a key, where many powerful undead and mages reside, where there are multiple runestones, which, from scant research, I've determined are ridiculously powerful. It seems we would do well to prepare as best we can first. If you have knowledge of a runestone, and he points at the map, then we should go there. And if you have a weapon
But
that
he didn't
would
say
empower
this
it,
dude knew how to do it. He just said this guy has information on how we could get it, right?
He's one of the few that still have a key.
Oh shit. Alright, so maybe he is last.
right? I don't want to.
I-
I would always err on the side of caution and say that we should get anything we can to aid us before we make our
I
first.
still think we should possibly get the weapon before another potential runestone without a weapon, you know? But that's
Very well. I will cede in
out
the
of
order that
out
we
of
do things together to you.
out of I guess game. I don't think Ramus would necessarily want to immediately give this guy a runestone, you know? And like
Oh,
our
he's not.
first stop.
He's not assuming he's gonna take it. He's
I
just
know, I'm
like,
just saying, and our first stop was like a runestone. I'd rather fully match
yeah. The
Thalos
order
up.
doesn't matter to me. I'm just
So-
saying I don't want to go there until we clear up the other leads that we have. Because you're
Yeah.
right, those have been dragging for forever. Let's do it.
So I'd rather Thalos be just as equipped as the rest of us, you know?
Okay. So then
But
let's go
that's up
find
to
the.
everybody.
Well, let's do gold gauntlets and then the green weapon, and then depending on how the party feels, we could take the long trek back to the where the blue might be, or we go for the kingdom.
Okay, so you're saying temple first, then desert, then consider.
It's just closer. Yeah, it's on the way. You know, the triangle.
The temple does look like it's the closest.
I'm so. Going to sleep.
Okay, yeah, all right. So we modified our plan a little, but and then after we get those, we can consider going into Shishupanik.
Right. We got to do it eventually, but that's a main party thing. If we can get Aiden back, I mean, like that's again out of character. If we can get Aiden back, then great. Let's go back. Then let's go to an underwater temple after we get Aiden back. Let's do that.
After.
Can't wait for a solution to get Aiden back. Pelgrim and all the devil demon factions aren't going to pause for us. We need to get back on our search for the artifacts and the runestones. So that
True.
seems like it has to be the priority, at least for right now. Unless Raider Jin heartily disagree. Rain, if you're talking to us, you're muted. Okay.
All right, yeah. Okay, temple,
We'll head
possible
for the
green
temple.
weapon, maybe Shishupanik.
Did I hear a message, some word of a airship? Do you people have that in this sort of medieval place?
Most in particularly our small country does. Not a lot of others do, as they have not practiced magic well enough.
Ah, I see. I was at least pulled into the civilized part of the world.
Indeed, you have.
Wow. He is a joy.
He is, isn't he?
Click, click.
Oh no, I don't know what happened. My sword, it just slipped. Ended up
This-
in the
oh,
pack.
The compulsions from the blade. Oh man.
Told me to
Hey.
drink this man's soul.
Oh, now his soul's all drunk. Whoops.
Oh no, earthquake. I plunged my sword into his back. I sucked out his soul. I don't know what happened.
Oh
It was so
man.
quick.
It was dark, dark runestone, can't see it in the dark.
Stabbed 57 times in the back by mistake. It was totally an accident.
Kicked down the stairs.
All right, so does anybody have anything they want to finish, I guess, before we...
Can I go pick up Aiden's order of that banner? The banner of the Krieg rune?
Yes.
Maybe you should probably get some traveling clothes, too.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah. Quick shopping montage. Modar goes, and he comes back, and it's just a slightly more. Like, it's just a different, like, suit. Like, it's a green suit instead of, like, dark.
Just a slightly deeper set of clothes.
Right, and then he's just like, I won't be walking. And because he can do, what's it called? The Phantom Steed as a ritual whenever he needs to get anywhere.
So it doesn't even have to worry about it. Just
Wait, give me 10
Horse.
minutes to cast this horse spell.
We do have griffins.
Man, Featherhead would not like Modar. He would be much like the party in that.
Sounds like a Modar problem, though.
Modar has the angry griffin. That's actually kind of funny.
this is like biting his hand every time he tries to get on him.
I love that, actually. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, I go do that. I'll add a banner to the Krieg rune to me.
Alrighty.
I still need something for like
Sorry, can
spell
Dallas just
defense.
ask?
We weren't done shopping, were we? Or were we just like giving that up? Did anybody have anything they wanted?
Do we want to spend some money in the business? Widen our network? Cough, cough.
Let's invest, or I don't get to talk, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Blue Man Group. You don't get to talk. Shut.
I'm the whole group. I'm 4 guys. Hold on, let me
They're
take
all
mirror.
bald. You
Let
can't
me
even tell.
let me take mirror image right now.
They have like the exact same face, same blue, like paint, same black clothes.
I do
They're
not
identical.
paint. That's racist. I was born this way. I was born blue. I don't paint myself.
Was it
That's
Mabel?
offensive. That's offensive. It was Maybelline.
Okay. My bad.
Check yourself.
I want to actually give 300 gold pieces to Trachadash, and just tell him to find me a case of good magic infusion and to send it to the address of our bar in Nanto. Where are we? Where's our bar? It's in that it's down by the coast, right? Yeah, well, bodegas.
Yeah,
Give me
right,
the address
right
for
by the
bodegas.
Trira. So, right away.
And I pretty much tell him to find. That's pretty much it. Yeah, just to make sure that, we're getting a magic infused liquor that's kind of like something that people down there can't get.
Right away. Thank you, Sir Chin. I will be sure to spend it very wisely.
I'm also
How much-
subtracting.
how
I'm
much would
subtracting gold
something
from my
like-
sheet for the summoned devil spell.
How much would something of like a mantle of spell resist cost if they had one at the shop?
A mantle of spell resist. Because that would be a fairly expensive item. It's rare. Let me double check my prices real quick.
Y'all, where are we going next on the map?
The Z.
Okay. Lovely.
Which is actually the weapon for your runestone, right?
It is.
From-
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's the pugilists. It's the gauntlets. The
Oh my-
gauntlets of
Yeah.
punch.
The beat 'em up gloves.
Hmm.
Pugilist.
Pugilist's gloves, yes.
I have a question about the banner of the Krieg rune.
Mm-hmm.
It says it can be attached to a 10-foot pole to serve as a standard. Could I attach it to something else?
I guess it's
Specifically my arcane ward after I conjure it.
I guess if you take time to affix it.
Because I can only do that once a day.
Yeah. So you'd have to take a moment to affix it, so an action to do that.
Okay. Would that be part of the action to unfurl it, or would it be action to affix it and then an action to unfurl it?
It's still the 2 action, unfortunately, because to
Okay.
unfurl and then fix it.
Yeah. Maybe something, maybe a morning thing then.
Oh damn, you're still looking. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I swear I had this bookmarked.
We were shopping and I need some sort of spell resist.
It is
Um,
Because spells fuck me up still. I got the physical damage, just if I'm getting up close to
which
person.
spell pricing do you prefer, the DMG or the Xanathars?
DMG.
Oh, okay. Let me grab my. I have the magic bookmarked as well.
Never fails. You always think you have something.
45,000 GP.
Yeah.
45,000, yeah.
Shit, that's a lot.
It's, yeah, very rare between 5 and 50,000, and this is one of the best items.
Yeah, because you just get flat magic resist.
Well, yeah, advantage of all the booze.
There's something that'll give me something similar that's less money?
Cloak of displacement.
Well, that would just be giving disadvantage to people trying to hit you with it.
So not less money then.
Unfortunately, because usually those items are already very powerful and expensive in themselves.
Damn, I know we have cash, but I'm not like
Swimming.
that's a lot. You know.
What about an Ioun Stone of Absorption?
Stone absorption.
It can cancel out 20 4th level or lower spells using a reaction. After it does 20, it burns out and turns dull gray, losing its magic.
Yeah. Let's keep it pushing. I don't want to like stop the thing for this, you know.
Yeah. That would be even more expensive because that's a very rare.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, that would.
I tried.
That would be
Sorry.
horrifically expensive if you were to go for a very rare.
I don't want to like stop the momentum of this story for this, so we could.
What we could do is we could research things that are used to craft that, and we could go and hunt that, and that would be a good first step.
Yeah, because even at the lowest price point, very rare starts at like 50,000 gold. So, yeah.
All right, so.
All right, so are you taking the things in preparation for your devil summoning?
I don't have enough money. I explained to the party that if they need me to cast this, I needed a gem worth at least 999 GP in this world's currency.
May not need it, but we have it.
All right. So long as you have it, then we can do this. And he goes back to, can I? No, I spent the money. Fuck it. Never mind. Can we see this airship?
Of course, the preparations would be just about finished. It's more of the transport class, not the fighter class, but something I'm sure you can all enjoy. Which obviously has he escorts you to the airship field, where the various ramps and such are all set up, leaning over larger pillars that you can see that they hang over the city. The large area below is more clear, just in case something were to fall, wouldn't collide with someone. Alright. I'll catch you later, Brother Jim.
He already did.
Yeah, I figured.
Damn.
Leading out to the airship field. Your personal airship. A Skycutter.
Is it always this beautiful? Because it's beautiful.
This is your personal transport ship.
I feel like a pimp.
Obviously, one ship, but obviously the multiple layers between the aft castle, forecastle, main deck, lower deck, bottom. With that, you can see that Veth seems fairly proud. Obviously, you are more than welcome to take this. This is our gift to you for being able to free us from Veronica Fairbridge's ire, as well as helping us deal with an extreme threat with the Son of Dagon.
The sun? Wow. Hold on, that was Marge Simpson. Wait.
That really was.
Wow, you kids are really doing it.
Well, we thank you for your help. And please let us know if we can call on you or you can call us on us. A friend of the order is a friend of mine.
Aw.
You're
They're
always
buddies
welcome
now.
here. Every single one of you.
Much appreciated.
I will not stop you from proceeding forward.
Yeah. Is the hold packed? Are we set to sail? I don't know how to. I'm not a captain.
Our griffins and stuff with us.
Yes, the griffins are ready. Obviously, they'll be flying alongside and occasionally napping on deck when people are not on the upper floors.
Holgain gets to show us his airship flying ability. He's come a long way. Do we have someone to take his boat and we can invest that straight into our shipping empire then?
We could say we could say that you guys hired somebody, probably.
Definitely can. And leave that as a missive of hiring a captain and crew. Another thing Draconash can do.
Yeah, we assigned them to do it. It's part of their favor for killing the Son of Dagon and all them.
An easier request to fill, especially since so many ships are going to take some time to get back into order from Veronica Fairbridge.
So it's the party, our usual assortment of NPCs. We're all cured. Polgain, Are any of the Gith soldiers with us?
No, this is purely just you guys.
Okay.
Leadership.
So then who's getting the captain's quarters? Are we giving it to Paul Gain?
Of course.
What about the first mate? Because I see a second cabin down there.
Good God.
There's quite a few cabins down there.
Oh, actually, I didn't even see the bed up here on this floor.
Yeah, the captain's cabin.
And then there's the, I guess this is the cook down here. Oh no, that's the that's the like nurse's tent.
Mm-hmm. You guys got the whole accoutrement. You even have privies.
And is that a brig? Oh, dope.
Yeah. You guys got everything.
Very dope.
Okay, cool.
We're in the hammock station.
Yeah. Can we cast off? Can we go?
Yeah.
Let's. I mean,
Can
yeah.
Ramus say to the
Did
crew
ask
that?
everything they need to ask of Vestin?
Can Ramus say to the crew it's probably best for all of them that he and Nira get a room?
Please. We
Can
talked about this. Go ahead.
Could you go downstairs? Maybe you could have the downstairs, the whole floor to yourself. No one above you either.
That's
just
the
storage there.
cook's thing, isn't it? Down there.
No, this down here would be the nurse's station.
Yeah.
There are two
Ah.
beds. There's like a cot and it looks like medical supplies.
Yeah.
But you also get a table.
Do we have a nurse on board?
Well.
Do you count Thalos? Because Rain I
Absolutely.
don't count. Rain is the cleric.
I'm
would
a-
normally be the answer, but it's not Rain. So unless you count Thalos, the answer's no.
All right, so we're taken down there.
And Modar's gonna try and take the one with the lots of books. We'll see how that goes.
Okay. Books ahoy.
What time of day it is? Is it?
And how fast do we travel?
So, especially for
Cool.
early morning.
We like set out before lunch.
Pretty much, like, you guys, this would basically be 9 to 10 o'clock around those times. Between the two.
9 or 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not drink o'clock yet.
It's always drink o'clock.
Depends who you're talking to. To be fair.
I have had a night's sleep, so I'm changing the spells I have prepared.
Be right back. Hit the bowl again. But
Do it
cast
here.
off, I guess.
Do it here. On camera. Go.
No, I have all that shit in the bathroom now because I don't want to stink up the rest of my apartment. I've become very bougie with the smell of weed.
Have you really?
Oh, hell yeah. I also try to
I'm
keep
gonna-
it away from all my electronics.
Smart.
I would
Really?
like everyone to know that I
Yeah.
have. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I just say I don't want the smoke and dust collecting on literally everything.
I want everyone to
Josh?
know that I have unprepared fly, but I have kept featherfall. So
Can
if you
you
fall, you're
fly?
fine. But I can't make anybody fly right now. If you do want
I can
that,
fly.
we'll talk about that. Just have Rain do it again.
I have wings.
Hey Josh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I just want to make sure. I just want to say, like, as an aside, before we cast off, I let Vestin know, or at least I asked him whether or not it's weird to have had a dream about a city inside the runestone. He's had the most experience with it. I just want to see if he's ever heard of anything like that before.
So with that, before fully casting off, considering that you have one of the kind-hearted ones, you are experiencing where the stone has traveled, almost like a past record. If we're a more malicious one, you would have to possibly end up fighting what lives within the stone.
Ooh. With that, I kind of like shoot a glance over to where Ramus just walked off, but I don't say anything. Thank you. Oh, I also let him know that the stones were referred to as by the Yellow King as his children. I just want to make sure he's familiar with that terminology. It might not mean anything to us, but for someone who's been fighting this war,
That's a good point.
that's new intel or
Many of the runestones used to have the spirits of his children trapped inside, where they had collected immense power. Thankfully, many of those that were purified are, well, cleansed, and those children's souls have been pushed into the afterlife. Though not all of them are
Pushed?
pure.
Ooh.
for your wisdom, Grand Maester, Grand Chancellor, Chancellor Prime, my lord.
Chancellor Prime.
Supreme Chancellor.
Get it straight.
Whoa, whoa, it's a tarp.
And genuflect appropriately before bidding him farewell.
I'll give you a deep bow and respect as well.
Yeah, for real.
And with that, as you guys go to set off the speed that the airship travels.
Does he have any way for us to get in contact with him or him to contact us?
Magical sending always does work.
Okay.
So.
Well, he can let us know if he needs us for some shit.
Yeah, he'll definitely have a way. But as for the speed of the airship itself, it does travel a full 180 feet per round. So, fairly fast. At the same time, that's that like full breakneck speed if you're gunning it with this thing. But at a casual flight speed, it's still 100 feet per round, which is easy enough. But especially since you're going overland, you're not slowed down by anything. So, also, duly noted, the airship has about 300 HP.
Only 300. We're in the hundreds for HP for this thing, not the thousands.
You still have to break the entirety of the ship to bring it down.
That's fair. Well, I mean, or just like the engines.
No.
Or the balloon.
There wouldn't be a balloon.
Oh right. No, I'm yeah. You say airship, and I immediately get the
Final
wrong mental
Fantasy.
image. Right. Just like.
No, this one is driven by an arcane engine. Thus,
Which looks cool as shit, by the way.
If you look at the very bottom page here, the main controls there, which is also why it can pump out so much speed, but it is also empowered by a massive Residium crystal that has been appropriately attuned to the main controls of the engine.
What if we like stack our Residium on top?
You could try if you want.
Go faster!
We would have to somehow bind it to it, because like just putting it on top wouldn't
Duct
add to
tape?
the harmonics. Do you have duct tape?
Maybe.
Sovereign glue.
Sovereign
Who
glue would
needs
work,
more
yeah.
power?
So yeah,
Just fill the whole fucking room with fucking sovereign glue and fucking Residium crystals and just fucking overjuice the edge. We need to fix it. The room's full.
Wait, hold on. Didn't we task them with something about our gear before we ran away to like do more quest shit? Aren't they looking into something?
Were they?
I think so. Because I asked them about my armor turning into +3, and somebody else asked them about enchanting their armor. And they were like, yeah, give us some time. And then we went and fucking...
I think that was resolved already. Because it was that or the airship, and you guys chose the airship.
Oh, right. Okay. Alright, fuck it. I'll take it.
Yeah, because this airship is equivalently 100,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'll take the airship. That's why that person's still sitting in the cell.
Are we able... How visible are we? Like, how high in the... Are we, like, could be mistaken for a bird height? Would we be pretty freaking high? Or are we, like, hey, look at that flying boat! Okay, so pretty decently high up.
Yeah. You could still be affected by storms. Obviously, electricity is electricity.
Right.
But... out of desperation, it'll be thin air for a while, but you can still surf over the top of a hurricane, though it'd still be tough, because you're basically still fighting air currents to try and pursue through.
I think we could figure that out. Maybe. Man, I didn't take any wind spells today. Alright, but it's not storming now.
Thankfully not.
Ta-da.
Brain's in the front of the airship drinking. On a down low.
Strapped down or something, hopefully.
Yeah, totally. I'm holding on to something.
She's definitely not out on the front rail guard and just watching the propeller go.
Well, I mean, she's not. She's in a room here. She would have to be over here to be on the top of, of the boat.
I knew that.
Well, I mean, there is a door, so you could literally be. Like,
oh yeah,
right
get
there.
all the way out here. Can I actually
it's safer up here.
I'm gonna Modar's gonna remember something. He's gonna watch Rain drink and remember, and he turns and he raises a small, it looks almost like a keychain of a mini chest, and he puts it down on the ground and taps it on the top, and it vanishes, and then a larger version of that chest pops up as he casts his Lehman's secret chest spell, and he opens it, and it's a magically preserved wine bar of magical wines of different vintages. And he like pulls out a bottle, selects a glass, pours a glass, puts it, stoppers the bottle, closes it, and then taps it, and picks up the small token of the chest again after that.
Fancy boy. So you can even see Ku is kind of like watching this all develop for Modar. Like raises a bit of an eyebrow at the magic of your...
I wanted to check that I could still reach out to it here. I didn't think of it immediately, and he takes a sip.
Hi.
It's a self-chilling glass. I'm not going to just leave that around.
It's actually a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
As you
Sip.
You're setting up. You can see that Nira and Dia go down to the lower deck where it kind of opens out for some of the windows, fanning out to the side where you'll be able to check on the wings and such. But also just kind of marveling at the whole fact that you're in a fucking airship. You actually get to coast through the sky now with relative ease without a care in the fucking world. can even see that Artress is actually fairly excited at that aspect, and even goes to check some of the inventory and some of the supplies just to see how much they have given to stock all of you guys up. As you do take note, you can see that they have given you full holds between medical supplies, food, equipment, beds, books, the engines in the works, other supplies to be able to repair them in emergency sections, as well as you have a fairly spacious hold down below to be able to store any excess treasure or other items that you would find on your travel. And surprisingly enough, a thing that most ships don't have, bathrooms.
A what?
Modern plumbing?
They're plumbing, or does it
Living
fall
it
out the bottom?
up.
Well, I mean, once you flush it, falls out the bottom, but they're way down here. But they do actually have bathrooms. 2 of them, no less. And yes, along with the jail cell.
Modar is cringing, except wooden. A whole.
What's he cringing at?
The bathroom situation.
How
What
much
about it?
time?
Like, what about it would
It's just incredibly archaic for him. It seems like ridiculously primitive. Like his toilet has a mini sphere of annihilation at the bottom, so it's just like it instantly shredded to nothingness. This is barbaric.
The poop no longer exists.
It's gonna fall on someone. Visibly shaken upon finishing his tour. His wine, he almost dropped it. Almost.
Oh my god.
Visibly distraught. You
How
would
much
think
time
you would
have-
be. Sorry.
How
I'm
much
having
time
fun.
until we get to our destination?
So especially with the very fast traveling airship, Paul getting used to it, so he's not opening it up to the full like breakneck speeds. Obviously, still getting a handle on driving a ship this large.
I'm gonna ask Modar if he drinks. Could I do that?
I
What
do.
do I drink?
I do. I'm having some. This is fantasy wine. I don't know.
Fantasy wine.
This is mana wine.
Mana wine.
It's
And
special.
then-
This is flavored with abjuration magic. My favorite.
I see. And then I'm gonna pull out my flask and be like, "This is what we call whiskey, and it has intoxication magic."
Really, intoxication magic. I've never studied that branch before. What effects does it have?
It's
This
something
the juice that gets
can't
you
quite
fucked up?
describe, but you
Juice that
have
makes your
to
bones hurt.
experience. And with that, I'm going to pull out a tankard from my ass. I don't know where it came from, but I'm just gonna pour him a glass. And,
Yeah, he'll down his wine and put. He has a chilled wine glass. He's asking you to pour whiskey into it.
Just bougie motherfucker. Okay, come here. Pour whiskey into his special mana wine glass, and clink his cup and say cheers.
Cheers. And
Cheers.
he goes for
Yeah.
a sip
Full.
rather.
No. You have for the full experience. You have to have the full.
The entire. Oh, it's okay.
The first
And he-
time you ever have whiskey, you must. Yep.
Yeah,
All at
so
once.
he, what? The first time you've ever had whiskey. Now, personally, I
You
didn't
cough
have.
like shit.
Yeah, it's very
choke.
harsh on the
You
throat.
die.
So I'm gonna say he
Uh-huh.
he's aided by his nature as a Vidalcan. He has advantage on, oh no, not on con saves, but he does have I'm gonna have him make a con save, and I'm gonna say how badly he reacts based on that.
Okay.
A 13, yeah.
13.
So it's very much a like a and he
I'm
doesn't
dying.
spit it out, but it's like visibly
It's
he's
there.
dying. Beads of sweat like appear all, and he go.
I'm gonna pat him on the back and be like, "Isn't it great? It's delicious."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps a small amount next time. I do.
Oh, from here, yeah, you can totally have small sips. It's just that first one. You have to
I
experience it
see.
fully. Yeah.
Yes.
You feel it up here, don't
I
you?
never want to
Mhm.
do that again. Do you
Right
have
there,
water? Someone?
right
Oh
there.
God.
We're in the air, bud. Um,
Uh, um, is there
Um,
what? I'm sure we have water somewhere.
Yeah, we definitely do.
we could just have more whiskey.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool.
I'm going to offer him a second
Are you
glass.
drinking with him?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
turn him into the down low drinking buddy because nobody else wants to drink over here.
Because nobody else
Rain,
can compete
Rain,
with you.
he's a lawyer. All he does is drink when he's not working.
So great.
This is
Drinking
your
buddy.
guy. This is
Meant
your
to
guy.
be. This is meant to be.
He will take the water. He drinks like it's probably like a flask of water, so he drinks half of it in a couple gulps, and he'll say, "Yes, I fill her up."
All right.
He slides it across. I guess the ground. I guess they're sitting on the deck, looking over the side.
Blur her words a very slight bit for a second. I'm just gonna, drunkenly chat it up.
After a certain point, Modar is gonna cast Unseen Servant, so that somebody can pour. Basically, he creates an invisible magical spirit that's going to pour whiskey for the two of them, so that they can focus on their conversation.
That's-
Yeah, you guys have. What do you want to talk about with Modar? He's very interested in whiskey. He loves hearing you tell
Where
him
he's from,
all about.
and like,
Yeah, he could tell you stories
I
about
think I would
Sigil.
be talking to him about like what he knows about our world, I guess, and maybe pick his brain a little bit now that he's a bit more relaxed and loose, not
Well,
freaked out,
you
by
can-
like.
You can easily tell that his understanding of the world comes from what he's seen so far and what he has read in like he read a history of the world. He read the the biography of the Grand Maester, and he read a book about the runestones, were the 3 that he got. And so you kind of get the idea that he thinks this world is very similar to this. Like, despite the Grand Maester saying this is the most advanced place, he kind of is like, oh yeah, you guys have like magic and stuff. I can kind of understand you, but like to him, you seem like he comes from a place called Sigil, known as the City of Doors, or the City of Secrets. It's the center of the multiverse. It's where all magic flows through. So it's this incredible nexus of magical power. And he grew up there in a world, where elementals live.
Like,
so it's like he went back to the 1920s
kind of. Yeah.
and was like, okay, now I gotta live like this.
It's
I
like
kind of know
weird.
what's going on, but
Yeah, and you guys have all these weird like
it's a step back.
yeah, like he says weird shit because in a place where every single person has lived for like hundreds of years, it's very easy to just let small like weird comments go because you have so much history built up over all of these different things that he just sometimes says weird shit that would be acceptable in that context, but isn't in a world where it's like, hey, I fought, to stand where I am. I didn't like work my way up in a society of magic. I wasn't born into a college of learned beings or anything like that.
Okay.
So he's like unintentionally an asshole.
I think my character may have, kind of like this person for a short bit. Maybe. Kind of like.
While you're both drunk, Rain
Yeah.
and Modar can get down.
Yeah, like, I'll fucks with him. Yeah.
Yeah, so he tells you a lot of stories about his 20 years of lawyer college, and how awful it. Oh yeah. Do you know how many laws he had to learn?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so he tells you all kinds of stories about that kind of stuff.
There was this one time well, it was a group project. You know how it goes. Everybody was doing all their work except, they said they were doing their work. I just never got their parts of the assignment. So I stayed up for a day, and it's an under duress presentation. So I had to give it underwater, which is I'm not I'm supposed to be like good at that, but we're only partially amphibious, so it's like I was choking my way through it, and I only had a quarter of the. It was awful. It was awful. Worst day. Worst day, definitely. He drinks. He says, "You worst day."
Okay. Worst day is probably when I found my mom dead. We're gonna go dark here, buddy.
God.
We're gonna go.
Hold on. You need drink, but he takes the bottle, he pours himself another one. Oh God. Oh.
And then Rain's going to tell him, her and her brother ended up in this adventure group.
I'm so incredibly sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that. No one should. That's awful.
Yeah, so we can't lose the burn guy, so we gotta go.
Yeah, we do. I think I get that a little bit better now. You guys aren't just an adventuring party.
No, we sort of kind of love hate him, so he's gotta come back.
That's cute.
Don't call me cute. Have you seen?
Oh, Dad, drink about it. I'll have a drink.
Have you seen my hammer? Don't fucking call me cute.
Have a drink. A hammer when I can
He pulls out his staff and blasts a fireball off the side of the deck.
A hammer's cute next to this.
Can I hand him a hammer as if it's fucking Mjolnir and expect him to drop it because it's super heavy?
Oh yeah, yes. He takes it with both hands and immediately drops it and cracks one of the boards on the deck.
Mm-hmm. Cute.
Okay, point. Fair. Can you take it, please?
He wedges it. So now it's standing on the head of the hammer.
Rain's gonna just lift at it with one arm and walk away.
Pop that on her. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just gonna start.
You still got your whiskey.
Yeah, every time one of the crew party members walk by, I'm gonna keep offering people whiskey. You got no.
What's Koo making?
Oh, you're making.
Currently, you could smell what seems like lemon butter chicken with a little bit of toasted bread and rosemary on there.
We can't let anything happen to Koo.
You wanna relocate downstairs? It smells delicious.
The hidden trait, Koo is a chef.
Without him, we'd starve.
Them good eats.
Rain, come downstairs.
Oh, where's the this?
There are tables. We can drink at a table. We could play cards.
You got nice windows to look at and get that breeze going.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is someone on watch or anything like that while we're?
Yeah, Ramus and I think Talos are both up here.
Phallus is having 7 minutes to heaven with Archers in there.
Ramus and Drake Hound are hanging out.
You got the
Yeah, it's Drake. What?
you got all the
What's-
griffins and invincible flying around with you. Jin sitting up there with Polygon.
I'm sitting here meditating on the runestone. Like spending time with it, you know.
All right.
But I'm still like paying attention, but we're like locking eyes.
All right. So, gonna try and focus on it and try and do what Thalos did, I assume.
I kind of want to. I don't want it to eventually just control me. So I guess I'm trying to get ahead of the game and see what the fuck is going on with this thing and try to control it more. I don't really like it screwing in my head, and I know that it's like in the back of my head, you know? Like we are Venom.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly feeling that, you know, and knowing that some of my decisions are not mine. So
Go ahead and roll me your wisdom saving throw. As you kind of focus and clash eyes and.
oh, it's funny because that's like my other useful stat. Thanks.
So. You focus on it for a good while as you drift through the skies. Thankfully, the airship and kind of just the overall atmosphere kind of being a lot more lighthearted seems to definitely help. But you can feel the stubbornness of this obsidian runestone. And it almost kind of like you can tell it's trying to just block you out for the time being and refuse to budge under your strain as you focus on it. But you can tell it definitely acknowledges what you're trying to do.
Unsuccessfully. Can I sort of find out, like, what the fuck does this thing want? Does it just want control? What the?
So you're gonna try and just communicate it? Like,
Yeah, shit, why not?
alright. So, because obviously everyone's downstairs, you know, waiting for dinner to be finished being made. Who's cooking up a storm? Everyone's kind of waiting. You know, you got guard Drake waiting.
Drake Hound.
Drake Hound waiting to see what you're doing here because it kind of keeps eyes on you. And it is definitely strange. You've felt emotions before from certain things, especially between your order, the blood that you share, being able to transform and such, but none so strong with the emotions as this runestone. Especially knowing the fact that it's been alongside its weapon the entire time. It's not like the other runestones that have been purposely separated. This one has, for whatever particular reason, stayed together the whole time. And you can feel that very strong bond between Rotonapar, the sword, and the Black Runestone. And you just feel that needing desire for combat, constant chaos, the feat of war and pain that it loves being in the midst of so much. Not in the constant infliction of it, but hunting the creatures that cause it, and always wanting to be in the middle of that conflict, knowing that the abyss and the chaos that it originally came from is probably like the greatest feast you could ever desire to be in the middle of. Just constantly devouring souls and growing stronger, far beyond much of its other kin.
Well, I guess it picked the right profession of people to latch onto with the blood hunters, the D&D witchers. Okay, but is it actively trying to like take me, or it just wants to feed on power and shit?
So, for what you've done so far with it, it seems very satisfied. The only thing it had seemed ever dissatisfied with was not being allowed to consume the power from the eye of the son of Dagon. You can definitely get the feel that if it knows that it can either throw itself into more combat for consumption or cause conflict where these creatures would come out, it would probably backlash and either fight its owner or try and take control of them, even if it is probably most definite suicide in this situation. Its desire for that combat, it doesn't seem to have any heart or care for its current owner.
Can it be reasoned with, or?
Seems like you can try and, like, reason with it, manipulate it. It would take time, but at the same time, obviously you're still in good standing with it. It does have sentience as far as you've been able to sense, and emotion. With that, and especially with Rotunifar being like awake and active, it does speak to you quite constantly on that point when it's unsheathed and ready to consume.
I'd like to spend like breaks, like short rests and stuff, meditating on this thing. I don't want this thing to control me. I'd like to I guess spend more time trying to not be the eventual flesh mech.
Alright. So obviously you know full well that it's going to take time, but I'm immediately setting out on trying to rein in the emotions that this thing has, as its wild temperament is almost that equivalently to that of the abyssal creatures it consumes. It's just even though most people consider what it does good, the temperament in which it goes about in taking it is almost that of almost like a tantruming child insisting on doing this, but also just wielding immense force. Probably one of the first few to really take time to not really discipline it, but understand it and get control of it versus you just being overrun by its raw emotion.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, we're chilling then, I guess. I'm gonna spend my time with it. Does it just have like the constant state of feeling like that, or?
That seems to be like one of its most exerted states. There's others where you've sensed it gone dormant before. It's kind of at this point where it's just kind of at a mellow stance where it knows that there's nothing nearby to immediately consume. So it reaches almost kind of like a inert, satiated point. But if something were nearby is when it becomes more overactive.
Alright, so then I go hang with the rest of them, I guess. Dallas is up here watching. Actually, no. I still stay up, just to mull over everything.
Alright.
Is it more than a day's travel to temple?
It'll take about 2 days once Pauline kind of gets like the heading into speed, because you're not really slowed down and you can just gun straight there.
Rain and I drank the entire first day.
I like them because
Like, just
So you
drunk.
drink the entire first day. Rain's just rain.
Yes.
I mean, it's a little bit more pronounced. I feel like Rain, doses it throughout the day, like, oh god. But like, this is like 20 questions, drink, 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 drink,
You know
like
how
for
many?
like
You realize how many battles we went into with her, like her character piss drunk?
several, quite a
Like,
few, if I remember correctly.
I don't know what you're talking about, guys. God.
No, not at all.
My character is being misrepresented.
The
You're not an
disrespect.
alcoholic? What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
she's like, I'm kidding. I was shitty the whole time.
Sometimes literally.
Um,
Oh man, y'all kill me.
do we see any farmers go, oh shit? Like, is there anybody that sees us as far as we can see?
If you're using a spyglass, you sure. Like,
Yeah?
they're down there. They're way fucking down. Like,
Don't have a spyglass.
hilariously enough, those are fucking expensive.
Well, it's a curved lens in this society.
Uncouth.
Curved lens.
Motor's just like, we could just go to like a glasses shop. What do you mean? We could just go to the store.
So, on the second day of travel, as you are nearing Zuri's old monastery, there is a point where you do take note that you actually see in the distance, for those who are on the deck at the time, early morning, almost like a shimmer, like almost the clouds have a reflective surface for a moment until you finally get a better sighting, and you realize that the shape of it is definitely distinct enough where you get confused because of the coloration of it. And finally, once it passes by close enough, not threateningly, but almost as if to see what you are all intending, but also sees that you are not armed, is a silver dragon. At that point, as you can see, when the silver dragon does pass by, sees the various griffins as well as Invincible flying beside. Just seems to kind of take note of what your ship has. Not really in a threatening manner, but just kind of flying alongside for a brief time. And after about a few minutes or so, we'll finally drift off towards a large cluster of clouds. For those who are kind of watching where this dragon goes, go ahead and roll me a perception. Or you can take your passive if you prefer.
Everybody
Full perception.
or just
Well, I'll notice shit.
Pretty much everyone.
16.
I got a 18.
Alrighty.
I'm paying attention to them paying attention.
So, with that, you can see that very easily for Ray and Modar and Dallas. Bless you, Twice. You could see that even though it's flying off into what seems like the distance, you can see why I had come to check you out for a brief time. Not very far away. What looks like an old, broken, and rundown castle of a sort, just drifting through the sky. Though it doesn't look to be in one piece, it just seems to be the ruins of a sky castle.
Shit, are we making a detour?
And with an 18 and a 17, do we see anything in particular about this ruined multiple pieces of a sky castle floating with a silver dragon nearby?
You could definitely see that the silver dragon itself, though sizable, definitely not as big as some of the damage that's been done. For those who were previously there, Modar would not recognize it. This looks like the same sky castle that has a missing turret from one of the ones you've previously explored. AKA the turret that was in the water off the coast.
This is the one for where we met Paul Gain?
Yes. This is one of the, well, remaining main structures of the Sky Castle that had broken apart during that war that was mentioned.
Oh, it's like the part that...
The turret would be one of the main staying corners that fell off. So,
I
Wait.
guess Brain and Thalos.
Quick
pointed out
rehash.
mm-hmm.
the place that we went to get the... That's where we got the red runestone.
Oh, okay. All right.
Where we met Paul Gain, because he took us there. That
Right.
place was used to be a sky giant's flying fortress,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, yes, we found
that's
one
why it was
down,
that's why it
right.
was underwater, because it had crashed from the sky. But a big part of it was missing, and I guess Josh is saying this is the part that remained floating.
Was there potentially another runestone here?
Not that you know of.
There's just giant stuff, which was useful to us last time. But again, Modar doesn't know anything.
This in particular, you would assume, especially since the Silver Dragon headed back there, might be a Silver Dragon's nest. But you, especially for most people, would know that Silver Dragons are good aligned. But at the same time, a large old ruin like that is debatable whether or not there'd be anything really left within it. But it's interesting enough to see that out of this whole time, this castle's still floating around and drifting around. You can tell the reason why most people hadn't really recognized it or done anything with it is because unless you're high enough to get past the clouds, the whole bottom level looks like clouds. It's just a collective of mist underneath. Up above, where you can see there's still clouds kind of sparsed around it, but you can see the broken structures that have collapsed in the huge section of where one of the turrets tore away. Another that looks like it's been collapsed off, where initially the battle had taken place. Probably most of it is at the bottom of the ocean, but at some point it started drifting back over the landmass at this point, and it seems to have a silver dragon living inside of it. You don't have to go there, but also it's just of note. You can tell that the castle is still going to continue drifting.
I attempt to chart its course,
Yes,
so that we might be able to know how to, at least where to look if we want to come back and find it. Because it seems like we probably want to get where we're going right now. I don't want to speak for the... Modar's like, flying castle, who cares?
Yeah.
Seen this before? Who gives a shit?
We're all like, wait.
Yeah, so are you guys like
Do
motivated
we want
do
to?
this?
Yeah. Do we?
Again,
That's why I said, do we want to?
Well, we're adventurers, right?
Onward to greater victory! Pillage the dragons!
We're a democracy, Thalos.
Buddy?
Thrice left the building.
He's gone. If you're talking, we can't hear you. But I'm down for whatever. He tells Helgard, he's totally talking. It's not, your mic is not. Maybe leave it, come back to Discord.
Yeah, probably.
Don't know. Maybe do you have a headphone mute button? He's down for visiting the castle. Okay.
Um, yeah, screw it. Let's go see what's in this castle.
All right.
This is how shit starts, man.
I mean,
Yeah, kind of. That's what we do.
That's where you get the good stuff. Welcome back.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
there it is.
Yeah, I was through that entire thing. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, dude.
I was saying silver dragons are good aligned. We don't have to worry about fighting it. We could always ask it questions, but I'm totally
Yeah.
down for
Yeah.
for exploring it.
Let's go. Yeah, Modar would definitely be against killing it. Firstly,
All right.
All right, then let's go check it out.
Yes, let's perhaps we should prepare some sort of offering for the
Yeah,
bee
from-
or the creature.
What do you suggest?
can I roll? Can I roll Arcana to see if I know, like, something that a dragon might appreciate? Like Arcana because they're magical beasts, and I'm not good at nature.
I would allow Arcana, especially since dragons themselves are innately magic.
Dope. That's a 31.
So, especially between. Let's see. You know that, especially for silver dragons, good portion of them. Obviously, he's already living, or he or she, you're not sure yet.
Okay.
Are living within the ruins of a previous empire. Obviously, from one of the dragons, dragon standpoints, it seems fairly normal for a silver dragon. You know also that they enjoy art, fine jewelry, and such. Just, you know, the refinements of life, and have a.
Didn't we steal art from this dude's mansion on our way out? Didn't we like take everything we couldn't fucking that wasn't bolted down?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's still on the treasure hoard.
We haven't moved yet.
Ornate, small leaf gold frame portraits. Phenomenal thread count Parisian style rug. Yeah, a couple of the things too. We also have an instrument of the
that.
bards that nobody's using that we could offer as well, because dragons like music.
Sure, all of that shit can. Whatever doesn't get us eaten.
All right. So.
Also, Modar's gonna take that +1 light crossbow that's on there. If nobody is upset with that.
Speaking of which, can I just use my hand crossbow for the bow? Just change the name
Yeah.
because we didn't put it in. 1d6 plus 4.
1d8.
Oh, 1d8. Okay, so I gotta change that.
And it's.
What's the bow called?
A quench quiver bow. And it's a +1 magic item as well. And makes its own arrows.
And 1d8 since it's a longbow.
Yep.
What's bow range? Is it like 65, 60,
Oh, it's a lot longer than that. Hold on.
60 to what? 300?
The long bow is 150 to 600.
Damn. And 1d8 plus 6. Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. So. Approaching this crumbling castle, obviously seeing that there are a few other griffins as well nesting in a couple of hippogriffs here and there, especially for the size of this old ruinous place. You could already tell that not much gets up here other than creatures of flight or ones who've probably known of its existence previously. You can see what looks like enormous giant weapons that still litter the grounds, along with a few of the bones of what seems to be previous cloud giants that had lived here. Some that have been left in forgotten stance. But especially with your own griffins kind of flying around the ship, it doesn't seem like too many of the hippogriffs or any other pests would be insisted upon bothering the ship currently.
I cast mage armor anyway, and my mage armor looks like a bunch of tiny mirrors, like 100 tiny mirrors all around me. And then when I do this, one of them like expands, becomes much larger, and it kind of hovers behind me, like a large shield.
Do we like hail the dragon, or does it notice us?
You do not see the dragon in sight currently.
How open is this ruin? Is it like, are we seeing like a cross section of this, like we could see all the floors and stuff, or is it mostly still contained and we would need to find like a broken walkway to land on and go through a doorway?
You do see where like parts of the turrets have torn away, some walls that have been crumpled entirely. There's another one that has opened from underneath as well, and even the other larger portion that you can see is still the main gate, but where the gate has been kind of crushed open, and the entirety of the front foyer of the castle gate is just wide open, even though there are still some giant bones laid about.
I confess I'm not the most, I'm no dragon specialist. Perhaps we should, disembark with the, lovely paintings and, this instrument that you all have kindly offered.
This is different. They're usually trying to kill us. So, yeah, let's try that.
All right. Who would be good to track a dragon?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, before we do that, do any of us know, or can we roll something just to see, how do dragons tend to get along with griffins? I'm only asking because. Wait,
Is that something I would know from my profession? Or
because the
dragons?
griffins are nesting.
Dragon nest wouldn't feel threatened by the approach of.
Well, there are griffins
'cause we've got-
on this mountain too. There are wild griffins here as well.
So you do definitely see that there are the wild griffins. There's hippogriffs and other various creatures you haven't been able to really identify as they kind of stick closer to the castle and in the clouds. But you don't think that it would really be an issue with the griffins, especially since the dragon had been kind of checking what you were doing as you drifted by. You sense that you get the sense very easily that the reason why they came to check you out in the first place is that your ship was drifting close to the castle, but realized that you're not really armed to the teeth with like cannons and crossbows looking for combat. You're clearly just transporting.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we weren't like coming in as a threat. So
We're also deciding that, and I think you would agree, that we should land and not approach on the boat.
Absolutely.
How exactly do? And
Is there space for
how
us
do
to
we
land?
hold anchor? Or
There's plenty of space. There's a whole platform that you can land on.
And I would. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, effectively, the arches that you see and the doorways that you see, these are not small. Like, if you wanted to fly the ship into the castle, you could do so with relative ease. Cloud giants themselves, as far as you can tell from the arch of the door, looks like they stand probably close to like 35 feet tall. And since this is one of the grander arches in here in the main hall, you could easily fly the entire ship into the main entrance hall.
Park it in the foyer. At least it's an easy
Let's do it.
escape. Maybe we should back in so we can get out easily.
This thing goes vertical too, I'm assuming, for takeoff, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it really matters if we back in or not, does it?
No, I'm just
Being the guy, I know.
Just makes an easier escape. So.
All right, so yeah.
Cool. So, I misread the treasure hoard. There are actually 8 family portraits, and then there's 2 smaller gold leaf portraits.
Do we bring all of it, or?
I mean, it's all in the bag of holding, so
Oh, okay.
maybe we don't put it all out at once, but we say, hey, we brought you an offering. Here are 4 paintings. We seek your wisdom, oh great dragon. Yeah, that kind of thing.
We could just walk up to them and be like, "Ta-da, for you." And then
I mean,
start-
we're going to be relying on Brother Jin's winning smile for this persuasion roll, but yeah.
Does he have fire protection?
Yeah, that's what we're for.
He's like,
Oh boy.
does he have what protection?
Does he require protection?
Yeah, we'll be good.
Alright. So who can track a dragon? Survival skills?
Again, would that be something I'd know from profession? Wait, and divine sense? Not divine. What's it called? And heightened senses. Finally gets used again.
So with the heightened senses, I would definitely say so for the heightened senses. Just give me but a moment.
Surprise, it's actually a still active cloud giant encampment. Bam, cloud giant encounter. Fight 6 cloud giants. Bam.
Nah.
Don't give him any ideas.
I wouldn't do that to you. Maybe I would.
Importing frantically. Who am I kidding? Josh had the giant stuff in this game first before anything else.
I had a lot of giant stuff.
Because giants is good.
They're always fun. They're always important.
Anybody want to smoke with me real quick?
Smoke with me.
Oh, I'm gonna get your stream pulled down. Hold on. Yo, I know that face. Yo, hey.
I don't.
No,
As long as
wait,
it's not
wait, you're
visually
in
there, we're
Connecticut, right?
I'll get it. Hold on.
I'm fine.
No, he's in Los Angeles.
I'm in.
He's in New York City.
Yeah, NYC, baby.
Or Massachusetts.
in the city.
In the jungle. What's Saki?
Where are you closer to? Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or New York?
I'm in between Rhode Island and New York.
None of the
Okay,
above.
so you can say you're in either. How about that?
Exactly. Yeah, I plead the fifth.
That ass.
I saw the other day someone had a channel that was basically just that and like reviewing it.
Thank you.
Pleading the fifth.
You okay?
I mean, it's not a bad idea, really.
Years. Saki's going after my whiskey.
He knows what's good, man.
He does. He wants his dinner.
Why are you starving that poor baby?
I'm not starving him. His mother's starving him.
Oh no.
Why are you guys starving that poor baby? He needs to be on a diet.
No, I mean, he is fat, but no, he doesn't need to be on a diet. We like him chubby. It means he's slow and we can grab him and cuddle him easier.
Did we land?
Effectively, just give but a moment, man.
Okay.
We're probably like, we probably wouldn't turn the engine off, right? Probably leave it
No.
on,
Hell no.
like, a couple feet up above the ground, so you throw a rope ladder over the side, and we're like, we're preparing stuff. Modar's making sure he has his fanny pack all prepared.
Pretty much.
Actually, I'm gonna take this opportunity to do something I haven't done before. He produces a ordinary looking bag the color of rust. And he reaches inside and pulls out a small fuzzy object that looks like it weighs about like a half a pound. And he chucks it to the ground. I'm gonna roll a d8.
Fuzzy animals.
Why are you throwing things?
Oh shit! A lion appears. I summon a lion.
A lion?
I now have a lion. I can use my bonus action. It could be useful. Keen senses.
That's true.
Look,
Is it loyal to you?
it's kind of a. Oh yeah, no, it'll listen to me. Look, sit, and it, I have the lion do a couple tricks. I stick my head in its mouth.
He hopes it sits. He hopes it won't bite.
It says. It
Yeah,
says
I
it's
know.
friendly to me and my companions, and it acts on my turn. Use a bonus action to command how it does and what action it takes. Just attack my enemies.
Grabbing all those who are disembarking. Who would be disembarking? Because I know Jin, Dalos, Ramus, Rain, Modar. Just you guys, and then everyone else.
Do we want to leave everybody out, all the NPCs?
Isn't that last time though?
Well,
Yeah.
no, we didn't leave any of the heavy hitters. Oh no, we did leave everybody.
Yeah.
Say,
But we can't leave Paul Gain
Right.
alone, and we can't leave the ship
I
unattended.
think in our
Big
there.
Hound will stay with Fallgame then. And if anybody else wants to, any other NPCs? I ask Eritris if she wants to come with us because last time she seemed very shook up about it.
She looks at that and the fact that you're in a cloud giant castle. Like, you go ahead. I will remain here.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd rather not have our way of escape taken. We should
defend it as well. I could set up some sort of alarm for you all, if that would help. I could cast
Sure,
alarm
yeah.
as a ritual to alert them in advance of people coming.
Would it be like like a bell, like a loud shrill?
I can make it sound like whatever I'd want.
Because if there is like an intruder or anything like that, it'd be nice that we could be notified without them knowing that we're notified.
Can I
So-
have the alarm mentally ping someone else other than me, or
Yeah.
can it only mentally ping me, Josh?
I could ping pretty much anyone you set it to, if I recall.
Then I will set it to ping any one of us, so long as we're within a mile of the warded area. I'll set one up on either side of the rope ladder that we cast down, and I tell them to stay at least 20 feet above the ground. And I'll cast alarm. Whoop.
Bingo. Good call.
So only us. So any of the people who arrived on the ship will not set it off.
I'm sorry. You said Modar is a lawyer, right? What class exactly is he?
He's a wizard.
He's a wizard. Thank you.
So anytime he casts a spell, he opens this big book. Well, he doesn't actually open the book, but he's got he has his book of all his rituals. It's in like a holster on his side, but he has his hands are occupied with his staffs most of the
I
time.
wrote it in my journal. I know I did. Where's that fucking spell?
Basically. For the rituals, he's got his book out and he's like waving it around.
Mm-hmm.
For alarm, he like draws basically a square on the ground with this piece of wire. And dings the bell a bunch. Oh shit. Oh, the boat looks small now. No, I'm kidding.
If I were to sustain, is Dia coming or is she staying as well? I'd suggest she stays, but
I think she should stay.
Dia
So
is,
she can actually be like the fighter on the boat.
Dia is definitely going to be staying as a extra defense because Nira's going with you. Obviously, got your heavy hitters on the front, just in case. I'll be able to at least get the griffins to you if we need to take off.
All right, cool. Everybody be safe.
I can play Jin as well. Alright, lead on. Keen sense. Oh, can I have my lion as well, please?
That's right.
I got a 7. I really expected to roll a 1 and get a rat. I really was expecting that. Fuck yes. Oh, let me touch that token. Oh, it looks so pretty.
Quick edit
I ride the lion.
Ready. Alright, you should have control of the line.
Yes. Amazing.
Let's get him to the back. Alright. So, obviously, at the main entrance here, you could tell between the immense battle that had already taken place, this magnificent cloud giant castle, still decorated, much of the furniture ruins. You can tell that the north and southern areas expand quite a bit, but you can also still feel a significant breeze pretty much coming from all directions, especially being this far up.
So it's windy as shit up here.
Oh yeah. You can tell that, especially for the amount of damage that's been done to the castle, it's not exactly sealed anymore, but for someone of immense measure from what you've seen for the cloud giants, especially for their bones and remainders and the weapons that are laying around. Not really much of an issue for them with this. This would probably feel like a normal breeze to them.
Okay. So which way does our Witcher think the dragon is? Oh, Witcher of the tiger nose.
Trying to get sued? Blood hunter.
I'm sorry.
Copyright, bro. Copyright.
Come on, be cool, man.
I tell my lion to sniff for dragons.
Yeah,
It looks at you confused.
how can I use my senses to, can I like smell dragon or hear it or
Gravel.
something?
So with that,
Survivable.
it's a little bit tough because the wind here does kind of blow through most of the tunnels. It kind of cancels out a lot of the noise that's going on. Go ahead and roll me a survival, just because obviously you can see that these halls are well trekked.
Everybody?
Is it bad enough to roll it as a normal, or?
I would say it normal because unfortunately, especially with the amount of wind blowing through here, the noise and the smells don't really settle. Everything's still kind of like fresh air, kind of blowing through your hair. Alright. So for that, you would assume that, especially in the main foyer here, it's not very likely, because these would be more of the servants' quarters. You would assume, especially from your experience, that they would have a more grandiose section that they would probably be presiding at. Maybe one of the grand halls, or even maybe possibly a throne room of where the Cloud Giants had a king, possibly, or maybe a general presiding over the castle.
Alright, so we gotta go like deeper in.
Yes.
Can I tell a direction, or is that just, at this point, it's just, we gotta wander this castle?
You would assume, especially since this is the main entrance, most castles usually do at least follow a line of like the first few straight in would be most likely leading you towards the aka throne room in a way.
Alright, cool.
We don't want to investigate what's up.
Not quite yet. We don't want the dragon to come upon us, right? So we want to go and find it.
Yeah, that's the mind I am of. Rather find and talk to it than it find us, you know?
Rain, come with us.
Especially getting closer to these areas, you can see where the castle has crumbled over the years.
Ooh.
Can we do like, I don't know, I feel like we're moving a little too fast. What if something's like booby trapped?
Can I make investigation?
Go ahead, if you would like to. Just be sure to.
Can I do the same?
Yes, you can. Both checking out.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling currently, from where you're standing, especially since these are one of the grand castle entrances, the ceiling it'd be 60 feet from you.
With a 15 or a 12, do we?
With that, you definitely see that there is some questionable parts here. It looks like once or twice that these bones might have gotten up on their own.
Which bones?
In the main meeting hall here, you could tell it looks like people would probably either enter either into this main F castle and be introduced, or meet with probably someone who's higher up, you could see that some of the bones here may not always stay at rest. It looks like they have been damaged before.
I don't like that. Where are they on the map? So I can avoid them.
Let me
Does my rune or sword feeling anything?
for Rotanapar.
Yeah.
You can tell he does sense the necromancy, but nothing truly malicious.
Nothing like that it really wants then?
Yeah.
Or cares that much about wanting?
Yeah. Nothing that's from like the abyssal level, but you can tell it's more or less on the like these cloud giants were probably brutally killed and not very likely at full rest. Like they still seek vengeance, possibly.
Oh, these are giant bones.
Yeah, these are all cloud giant skeletons.
Well, that's bad. Wow, there are several of them. Upsetting.
That skeleton just
Can I
that skeleton just moved.
can I call my wings now?
You definitely can.
There's it's a giant's palace, so I've probably got room. Yeah,
It's gonna divine sense to make sure that these are all undead.
In this room specifically, the 4 skeletons that do remain, there are 4 undead.
Okay, yep. Do we want to fight these things? If there's a dragon there, this may not be the place that it is. Doesn't seem like a dragon would want to fight undead giants every day. But you know, I said that in character voice.
yeah. Knowing this, maybe we try to accomplish what we're doing before.
Or we fucking go, cause
Is this would this
like
be
Jin
like
wants
the
to
way
kill.
to go?
This looks like the way across to where the throne would lead, but you would imagine, especially since the dragon usually flies, that it probably doesn't really mess with this room too much.
Oh, so probably our best way through then. I withdraw my objection.
I mean, if everybody else could fly, we could choose another route, but
Can't do that.
Are we going?
Can Jin smite one of them while they're still on the ground?
I do a Peter Pan loop-de-loop. My new shoes.
Fly around. So you would have Jin run up and try and smack one of them before they get up?
Yeah.
My goodness.
can I try and get my sword in one and have it?
Yeah, maybe you both
suck it like suck a soul before it can get up.
time it together. Do you want Jin? Do you want this one or this one?
This one, because I don't have a shield in case this one gets up.
Okay. Then Jin's going running for this.
I fly in. I guess if is he gonna just smack it, or are we waiting for them to get up, or we're just going up and wrecking them?
So with that, especially as you approach, you would be able to get a free smack on them.
Do I have advantage?
Yeah. Drink.
Yes, you would have advantage because they are prone.
That's a 30.
Can I try and drink before it gets up, or?
Yes, you can. It would be your action as these things are gonna break out into combat the moment you've approached into this room.
Cool. Let's see what a critted 3rd level Divine Smite does to this thing.
Probably annihilates
That's
it.
gonna be what, 4d8 radiant? Yeah.
If
So
it's
that's
base and then.
oh, it's 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. Oh wait, and it's 1 extra because it's undead, right? So it's actually 10.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this one's gonna really get a chance to do anything.
47 plus 17 is 34, 36 plus 70, 83 damage, much of it radiant.
83.
I stab down and we get an advantage.
Yeah, see if you crit. Do it. Damn, 32. That double 19 though.
All right.
And I yell, drink.
With that, tries to drink in the life force, but unfortunately, without the bones being dispersed, unfortunately, they're still bound to the skeleton. Though once they break, it would be able to siphon the soul. You feel much frustration from Rotunapar not being able to just draw on the soul immediately. But with that, we'll throw him down into initiative. At the same time as Jin has struck this thing, it looks immensely damaged and a lot of it is already starting to crumble. But it is still held together. Though you could tell that 2 strikes like that would probably dust it completely.
Ooh. Oh, whoops.
Who bring up the rear?
Hold on, wait.
Hey,
Jin
it took
got
the 8
an
instead of the
18.
16.
Blind goes on Modar's turn.
I personally think it should have took the 16, but I guess I'll take the 8.
Well, no, you can just click in and edit it.
Yeah.
Just click your 8 and edit it in
Ah,
the turn order, and then just make
I
sure you
did
hit
not do that.
enter.
Thank you.
No problem, dude.
Gotta hit that enter button.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Alrighty.
Damn, Thalos, we down here.
Hitting that good. That
Bring
good
up
damage.
the rear, my man.
Alrighty. So, right out the gate, at the moment these skeletons start to rise up, you can see them pulling their weapons to their side, immediately raising up their bodies as Jin and Ramus charge forward, slamming their weapons into it. Retonapar tries to pull a lot of the essence and power out of this one, which prevents it from having its once-a-day power, so that's a good part. But has not been able to siphon the spirit completely from the bones of this one. Though Jin decimates a large portion of the other skeleton that's rising up from the floor with a hefty 83 damage. But it's still held together, not by much after that point. You can tell a couple good smacks will probably bring this thing crashing down.
Brian.
Oh, damn, the music.
I figured you'd enjoy it.
Let's fucking get it. Alright, Jin leans in with the longsword. 2 slashes. A 13 and a 21. And then the dancing sword is gonna pop out as a bonus action. As 9, that'll miss probably.
Unfortunately, just the 21 hits.
Okay. Alright, that is 19 damage.
Just enough
11 splashing. Nice.
to crash this to the ground as you slice out the rest of its leg.
Okay. And Jin is going to then move. How tall is this ledge here?
That ledge is a 30-foot ledge.
Okay. Cool. So he can't really get in between Ramus and that one. Book. Paladin not very fast. Yeah, he'll run over this way past you, Ramus.
Why not up
He
to
can't
a place
climb.
to give us advantage? Oh, that
He
would
can't, he
put him
can't
into.
get there. It's too far.
Oh,
He
okay.
only
How
has
high
30
is this
feet.
ledge?
30 feet.
Oh, okay.
From the
So
white
he's
marble
now,
to
like-
the cloud marble up above is 30-foot stretch.
Each of these like 5-foot squares. These steps are pretty steep, so he's 10 feet up, standing there on these stairs. But that's him. That's move, bonus, and action.
And I forgot Nira as Rain. It's your turn.
Okay, I think I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd like to swing at this guy right here.
Alrighty.
Is that gonna do anything?
The 14 that would just hit.
That ass? Okay.
They're skeletons. All their armor is ancient scrap from years ago.
I'm questioning your decisions, sir. Don't you worry.
Please don't.
Never question his decision. He's fucking raked us over hot coals before.
I would never question this man's decisions ever. I know better.
Alright.
I know a lot.
So you
And
slam into this and you shatter away a good portion of the bones on his legs, and you even see old rusted armor just shatter away and clatter across the stonework.
I think I would like to. Can I do the War Priest?
Bonus action, another smack.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yes, you can.
18.
Definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Booyah.
Alright, another 16.
Tell me at least I took out a knee. That's all I want to know.
Easily took out a knee. You blew off the shin guard that he had in his old epaulet and just started smashing down into ancient bones there.
Does this thing go down or is it still standing?
Oh, it's still standing. Like, Jin did a full heavy 83 damage to the other one and then just beat it down after that. Like, they're old and ancient, but they're still fairly durable.
Punks.
Remus.
Can I use my Sawbones bone saw on this thing or is it too strong?
With that, you can definitely give it a try.
Alright, yeah, so I give it a try. It has to make a con saving throw 25 to beat. Wait, hold on. 23.
Alrighty. Definitely fails on that part.
Hold on. So then I gotta roll a d20. Oh, damn it. So close. Is it righty or lefty? If I had a 20, that'd be a 10. Is it righty or lefty?
For what it looks like, they're wielding like massive two-handed weapons, so it seems to be leading with its right.
Alright, so its right arm comes off.
Alrighty.
Hold on, alright. Gotta roll the damage.
Very nice. 13 damage to this thing. Is it like, especially as it's coming up and before it can even fully get up, you just slam the saw blade down into its shoulder and just quickly rip it right across. And you can see it fall off to the part, and it just looks confused for a moment as it's still trying to like drag this heavy weapon across the ground as it looks at you in frustration.
Oh, whoops. I'm still assuming that hits.
Yeah, that definitely is.
Alright, 15. And I use my bonus. I summon some shadows.
Ooh. Alrighty. The army is called.
As the piano plays.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. And now I guess the squad's gonna do their thing.
Alright. Try and siphon life. Or what life is there. Alrighty. Unfortunately, the 7 and
Only
8,
the
yeah,
first one.
yeah. Oof. The heavy drain is this thing's already like crumbling from that, and then kind of just starts feeling the sapping energy pulling away from what necromantic strength it had. Mark this down.
Does this thing get advantage from where it is, or from Jin? Or no? Because he's...
Unfortunately not, because that's like
Alright.
very, very cornered, because that would go across like that.
Okay.
Like he needed it.
Oh, whoops. So, 19.
19. With that, especially as you guys quickly hammer it down, especially piecemealing it, without the other arm to help defend itself, just immediately crumble. The demon grabs and claws, tearing away ribs and various parts of its spine before it just crumbles into a heap once again on the floor.
And this is why we collect NPCs and things. Okay, yeah, I guess that's my turn. Actually, I use some movement to raise myself up to level of here. What's that, 30 feet? So I use, since I have my wings out, I raise up 30 feet. I'm not at the ledge, but I'm like where I am.
Alright.
And that's turn.
This giant is going to start moving forward, especially seeing some semblance of what you've called out, and it's going to hit you with its chilling glare. I need you, Remus, to make me a Constitution saving throw, DC 13.
Is he... How big is Jin's aura at this level? Is it 15 yet? Oh, that's 10. You get plus 4.
He's 30 feet up, though. Or, let's see.
Yeah, 30 feet up.
Yeah, he would still.
But it's still 13, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jin's not 30 feet up. Jin's 10 feet up.
10,
He's not on the
then
top.
he flew.
But it's still
30,
20
that's
feet.
Still a 20-foot
Oh,
gap.
Ramus is in there. Right. Fuck, I forgot.
Not to mention the,
Bitch.
how far apart are we?
Yeah, because you're up to
Oh no, yeah.
Not Modar yet.
So-
Jin.
Alrighty, so
16.
with that,
That's good.
you will only take half the damage, and you will not be paralyzed.
What's damage?
So it will be cold damage. So half of that, it would only be 17 damage to you, cold. As you feel like this constricting hatred and glare, like somehow the life of this creature had been robbed short of it, and it just kind of makes you feel the heavy anguish. But
Ah, shit. It's too late to drink, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Alright, fuck it.
but you feel it, and you felt far worse before, and you're able to shake it off, and you're not really restrained by the raw hatred of this creature's afterlife.
I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you look at
Stop whining.
I've stared into the eyes of the Yellow King. Go fuck yourself. That unit is just gonna start rushing in full steam, full dash, and then Modar.
God damn. Well, it looks like they got that one. So, I'm going to... Can my lion make it there? How fast is my lion? 50 feet.
It's a big fucking room.
Can't quite get there. So my lion's good. I use my bonus action to tell my lion to wait at the bottom of the stairs and prepare to attack the thing if it runs that way. Basically just interpose itself in front of Thalos.
Alright.
And I'm gonna use my action to... Well, I'm gonna walk into the room and I point my staff at the wall above and behind this thing, and I'm gonna cast Fireball from my Staff of Power, so that's a 5th level Fireball. DC 17 Dex save.
Ooh. That definitely fails that one.
Awesome. That's 37 fire damage.
As you just fucking light this thing up, you can see huge hunks of armor and just pieces of bone shatter away, billow over the floor. And you could definitely see, you could definitely see slowly like shifts and like raises up its weapon, looking in your direction now.
And I take 2 steps back because that was the last of my movement.
So at that, this thing is going to start its heavy, slow shamble on over. Get its 40. And seeing this sneering lion blocking the way, because it got it. Does that have reach with that bite? I don't think so.
Oh, it's not coming close enough? Fuck.
It got its 40, but now, especially seeing the sneering lion guarding it.
But it's 30 feet up, Josh.
That's true, but...
Does this giant reach?
Well, it doesn't have to reach with the ability it has of Vengeful Glare, so roll me a con save.
No! Oh no!
Kitty gonna die today.
The kitty Kitty's gonna freeze, I think.
Yeah,
Kitty. With a 12.
Kitty gonna die today. So.
Uh-oh. The poor lion, no.
It's
okay, he's soaked.
As for a brief moment, you see the lion that you told to fucking guard away suddenly like lock up, and then you actually see like necrotizing frost wash over the flesh of this lion. It starts to mat down its fur and just flops to the side, and you actually see its body shatter across the platform.
Oh my god.
Took one for the team.
Yeah, that could have been me.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Thalos.
Damn, the lion shattered to pieces. Firebolt? Which one? We can not hear you if you're talking.
I'm assuming the boy up here. Because you disco, it's fucking with you again, friend. Ah, that boy. Alright.
Okay.
That definitely fucking hits a heavy 17 chunk. See one of the ribs just break and fall away and just shatters on the ground. Bonus action. That definitely hits. Another 14 damage. So just slam this arrow, or the backbiter spear, into the very dead center of it, and you can actually see ribs and spine starting to break away. Yeah, everyone's seen this death glare that these things seem to have and doesn't want any part of it. Alright. Jean Delacroix.
What's Jin gonna do? Nate?
Oh, I apologize. Jin is going to move towards this big fucker
Clambering
and
out.
can just get there. And he's gonna lay into this guy. I'm still set up as the lion. We want to be Jin. He's gonna lay into this giant. That's a crit. That's a 16.
Wow.
I assume you
And
want
that's
to
a dancing sword.
smite on the crit.
Well, of course, Josh. How did you know? I'm not gonna burn another 3rd level, but I will go 2nd level, so that'll be 8 still.
Yeah.
So 42 plus that is a lot of damage. 13 plus 18. 17. 48, that's a solid 90 damage.
Dang.
So you just
Jin is a machine. Jin is a machine when he crits.
this is like the calling Jin has been waiting for, and he just walks up, and just you see Basilisk's flames light up and just blow out a huge part of the fucking shin bone and just part of the ankle as the skeleton starts to fall to its one knee already, barely held together, and as a lot of it's already started to crumble from the radiant energy. The 16
says,
will hit.
Hurry
well.
up already, sister. I've already got one.
Always gotta talk shit.
I gotta roleplay the character.
Of course, you fucking do.
Right.
Gosh. Whatever. Alright.
Feel
I
it, feel
do-
it, feel it.
Finish.
Right.
Big spell. Spiritual Guardian. No. Divine Smite.
For that, you wouldn't be able to run
Imagine
straight
if
up there.
Rain just fucking
Can you-
multi-class.
Oh no, it's 30 feet. I was like, can she swipe the legs? But no.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
not.
I don't think unless you can fly, I don't think you can get up there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
30
30 feet up.
Yeah.
Is it 30 feet up?
Yep.
Yeah,
'Cause
that ledge is 30 feet.
Yeah, because where this is all the white marble is 30 feet down, the blue marble is 30 feet above that. So you'd have to run the stairs fast.
Spell him.
Yeah.
Cast a spell.
Yeah, I guess spell's the way to go this round. I would like. You mentioned spiritual guardian earlier. Spirit guardian.
Gonna drop him on one of these boys.
That's the big one that does 60 radiant damage on anything that moves in its space. Doled out in 20 radiant at a time. Or 20 or 10 if it misses.
If it's resisted, like people dodge it.
Wait,
Pop
I'm
that in.
say spiritual guardian, right? Or spirit guardians?
Spiritual guardians, where like you emanate the aura and you generate.
Right, that's what you guys were just saying right now. That's not.
I'm thinking of Guardian of Faith.
Yeah.
Oh,
Guardian of Faith is the spell I was thinking of. I apologize.
okay.
The
Oh.
text of it says a large spectral guardian, and I'm like, burp.
Okay. Yeah, I think I am gonna do that route. I don't want those. But I also have a bonus action.
Where are you putting it?
Oh, right. Let me finish what I was doing first. Range is 30 feet. Oh wait, so can I like put that thing over there, or can I put it like right there? Let me see.
In front of it, so it'll have to move into it. That's smart.
Yeah. You
Like,
drop-
right there.
Yeah, and it'll already be in it if you put the corner in that square too.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't forget the Guardian from Tempest.
Fuck yeah.
God, what a beautiful photo. I love it so much. Okay, but wait, I also wanted to do a bonus action.
Alright.
I don't know if it's overkill. Let me see how many are left. 1, 2. Yeah, it's not overkill. Fuck it. Spiritual weapon, please.
You did cast Guardian of Faith, so.
All right. Shucks. You're right.
Bonus action, shit your pants.
Yeah, word. Drunkenly slur the spell and then fuck it up. No.
Yeah.
I accidentally summon a Guardian of Faith inside my brother. He explodes. Oh no!
Be a day where like I roll really poorly for a spell and it's gotta be role played so that like I'm slurring and fucking up and something else appears by accident. Like please, just once.
Guardian of Faith.
Except it's a
Abyssal Fiend
devil.
of Faith. What the fuck?
Oh!
Fuck did I do? This
Like it's a
isn't-
fiend, but it's wearing the armor and it's got the holy sword.
Yeah, that'd be hysterical.
You wanna move?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up the stairs.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, done.
Alrighty. Remus.
Oh my throat.
I flap my wings and get behind this thing. How's it looking, actually?
Like it's about to drop. That thing got heavily damaged from Jin's burst of radiant energy. You saw it just crack a radiant vein straight through its body.
Alright, so it's pretty much handled, right?
Pretty much.
But this one's, like, trapped on purpose, so I don't want to fuck that up.
Whatever you feel, man. Because that one's about to go. So if it,
Jin teed it up. You gotta smack it down. It like fell down to one knee, smack its head off.
Nero ran all the way over there.
Dude, take it from her. Do it. That would be so funny.
That's always the biggest problem with clutch iron castles and such. Like, it's such a big fucking space. Like,
Right, maneuvering becomes really hard unless you could. I should really unroll my my flying rug, my
What is
flying
that?
carpet. Do it, Ramus.
I
Fuck your
roll over
girlfriend.
here,
Aww.
and anyway, I start blasting.
alrighty. All those definitely hit. Oh, unfortunately not the claws.
Okay, so 22.
Alright.
He flies over here too,
Alrighty.
buddy with wings.
Oh, God. Oof, he is barely holding together.
Shoot, hold on. Let me see how far my shadows can go.
So close.
40 feet. Yeah, no, I guess I let them kill that thing up there. Yeah, it's my turn. That's all I got.
This one is going to, well, take its 2 swings at Jin.
Oh, right, that one already looked at Ramus.
Yep. The only one that's going to hit Jin is with a 25.
Nice. Classic.
But especially in like a brief retaliation, just stands up for a moment and just brings just one hand, this head of the axe straight down into Jin, just slamming right into his chest for a heavy 34 slashing damage.
Ooh. His HP left is 69. But big hits, big meaty hits.
Oh fuck.
Youch.
Giant strength, bro. Can't fuck with that.
Ooh,
As
man.
demonstrated previously by Nira, who's technically a half giant. Alrighty. And the big meaty wax from Nira. Yeah, she's gonna fucking obliterate this thing. Another 25 damage herself. And those were low rolls.
Good job, cool. Still, that's something.
Nero, I just have it as Cougar.
Who's his favorite character? He always rolls as him.
It's true. I have the power with him.
I don't like it. I don't like you having the power. You could stop having the power if you wanted to. It would be nice.
Don't worry, it was one successful head. Jin's still breathing. Modar.
So, similar to Ramus, Modar doesn't really want to, fuck this up for Rain. It seems like they burnt this spell and this thing is going to be taken care of. So, I'm just going to hit it with I'm just going to cast Toll the Dead on it to see if it likes the sound of dolorous bells. Why did it do it like that, though? Hold on. Let me fix my spell thing. Sorry.
It does that sometimes.
Wisdom saved 1d12 type. And it is a cantrip dice. Toll the Dead.
Oof.
Holy shit!
That is the strongest Toll the Dead I have ever fucking seen. Holy shit, bro. So...
You steal the kill anyway.
How do you
Wait,
wanna
hold on.
do
It
this?
could succeed. No, wait, hold on. It could succeed.
How do you want to do this?
Josh, can I give the skeleton my inspiration?
I mean, if you really fucking want to, friend.
No, it's okay. Modar. Okay, so how this looks is Modar looks from around the wall and he's like, "Oh, perfect. It's already basically dealt with." So he just like takes out the little bell and goes ding ding, like kind of like almost flippantly in its direction, and just like dubstep waves. They just blow it to pieces against the back wall. The bones like literally start to rot.
Fully desiccate.
Can,
blow to dust.
Can I drink that thing?
You definitely can. Pull
Oh
in
yeah, I
the
do.
anguished soul of an angered cloud giant. Will no longer be able to ever reform. And that is combat.
Nice.
We level up.
Well, let me get you XP, because
No,
I figured we'll
I'm
call it that.
sure we
We'll
don't
pick
level
up
up,
next
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for running, Josh. This was a ton of fun.
It was.
I'm glad you guys
Can I drink
decided-
any of the others, or are they gone?
You could drink them all, and you would actually fully prevent them from reforming.
Okay.
Rotona Potter would be excited.
12,000 XP away from our next level.
Really?
Yeah. Well, slightly less than, but yeah. 11,550 XP if you want to be pedantic.
So you each get 2,000 XP.
Woof.
Matey. But at the same time, you did just beat Cloud Giant skeletons that had death glares.
Can we loot?
That were bitches.
You definitely can. There's obviously some decorative rings and such still remaining there, but obviously they're fairly weathered.
Also hula hoop sized.
Yeah, like if you're gonna take a ring, it'd probably fit more like a belt.
Is there anything else?
How much XP did we get?
2,000.
2,000. We're at 9450.
450.
Yeah. But I know you do have your game, Josh. So you got your stuff. We don't want to hold on to you. We'll let you go, and we'll definitely not discuss evil plans after you leave. Love you, Josh.
I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Only so evil you can get in a previous Cloud Giant castle / home of a silver dragon. So
Yeah, definitely there are limits to us. Keep thinking that.
Clearly.
I have faith in
Alright.
you.
Good night, guys.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night. Till next week.
Till next week.